Hello and welcome to the return of WitchLab Wednesday Live. I'm your host, Tiffany Boggins, and today is September 17th, 2025. 2025, that means it's been 2 years since we've done one of these. A lot has happened in that time, a whole bunch. I'm a grandma now. What? I have a 9-month-old grandbaby, and he's amazing. The lounge opened. That's something that happened in the last 2 years. And we're being evicted. So much has happened. And we're going to get into all that. But first, I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. We have the most amazing all-star guest list for you guys tonight. All of these people have been on the show before. And so we're bringing them back. And they've graciously accepted to come on and support us in this weird time and talk about one of all of our favorite topics, witch stores, and how important they are to all of us, how they helped us on our path, how they were a beacon in most of us, small towns that you didn't feel like a weirdo when you went to, or at least you felt like a good kind of weirdo when you went to. And how they're meaningful to the community and to our growth as witches. And they're going to tell us all the cool stuff that is going on with them. They're going to promo their new books and their new videos and their new classes and all the fun stuff that they're doing. Because there's so many guests, they're only going to get about 15 minutes per person. But I think I can get a lot in there. That's going to be the tough part, is actually keeping it to 15 minutes, because I'm pretty sure each of these guests that we have on tonight, when they came on, we were on for 2 or 3 hours, easy. So, and who's on tonight? That's a good question. We've got Stephen Intramill and Tony Rotunda from the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magic in Cleveland, Najah Lightfoot, Sarah Mastros, Lilith Dorsey, Jason Mankey, Kobe Michael, Laura Tempest Zackroft, Amy Blackthorn, Evo Dominguez Jr., and last, and of course not least, Jason Miller. So we're going to go through all of those. You're going to get to hear from everybody. But first, you get to hear from me. We're going to talk about what happened, what's happening now, and what I hope will happen in the future. Right now, so what happened? What happened to WitchLab? What's all the thing? Why are you moving? What's the big deal? Oh, wait for a sec. Let's go to comments, because I'm sure someone's yelling at me. Tiffany, you're not looking at comments. Let's see here. Oh, hey, we got people. Hey, Janet. Hey, Jack. So what happened? What happened is that I booked a band who was amazing. They were amazing. Daikaiju. I'd never seen the band before. I booked them because one of my staff loves them, and they were coming through town, and I said, yeah, why not? Of course, they seem amazing. So we booked them. And one of the things that is in their act is something that my landlord saw a video of, didn't quite understand what was happening, and immediately started eviction proceedings. I'm going to turn off all of my bips and boops and bops because they keep going off. So what they do when they do that is they show up at your business with a 3-day to vacate notice. So, and it's for both buildings because our lease is under one. And for any of you who have ever been in WitchLab or WitchLab Lounge, giving me 3 days to get everything out, it starts an immediate panic attack on the nervous system. And, after I actually contacted a lawyer while they were standing in the lounge giving me the 3-day notice. I was like, hey, yeah, no, right now, emergency, I need a lawyer right now. And so the next few days were me finding a lawyer, and who I did, and she's amazing. And then there was some back and forth about whether or not they were actually going to go through with the eviction or not, or whatever. And they did. They totally did. It took about 2 weeks for them to file, but they did. And we went to court. We actually settled. So settling is bad because I could have possibly won, right? Because they didn't really have much to go on, but at the same time, losing, if at all, is really, really bad, because then it's actually could be 3 days from then. So we settled, giving us a final move out date of October 12th. So October 12th is coming up really quick. I'm sure you guys all know that. Oh, hey, hi, Mark, Henry. How's it going? Oh, I've missed you guys too. So what that means for the future right now is that as the definites that I know is that our last show, our last night at WitchLab Lounge is going to be October 3rd. Good news is that's our huge fundraiser. That's right. We're having a Damn the Man, Save the Lab fundraiser. It's going to have tons of bands. It's going to have burlesque. It's going to have raffle prizes and a silent auction and God knows what else I'm going to think of before then. But all of these things are in the works. Raffle prizes are being donated by so many people. Arcane Alley vendors, local businesses. Sarah Mastros is giving us an entire scholarship to one of her courses. Oh my God. And we're going to talk about that when she's on, all the stuff that you might be able to use for that, that use the scholarship for. Because there was a class that she just posted that I'm like, damn, I'm not keeping any of the prizes, I swear. Also, 4 roses today. That's right. I'm cracking it open. It's a new one just for this special show. All right, that's enough. That's enough. We'll do a little cheers, everybody. Cheers, everybody. Big question everybody has right now. Do you have a new building? Yes and no. I found a building that is absolutely amazing. It's perfect for us. We can have the shop. We can have the lounge. We can have some other weird surprises stuff I've always kind of wanted to do, but never had the right space to do. So if this place works out, I'm very, very excited about new things I get to do for you. We have a little bit of hiccup. We've had a couple of hiccups along the way, not because of the new landlord. He's amazing. This will be a big change from old landlord, who I was never actually allowed to meet or have his phone number or anything. So that's wonderful. New landlord. Space is relatively close to the old space. So if you could make it to WitchLab before, you can make it to the new one, I promise. It's not next to a Family Dollar, so that's freaking sweet. And it has an amazing parking lot. So there's lots of goods about the new one. And so far, there hasn't been anything that's keeping us from actually signing. It's just like some finalities with some work that needs to be done and some estimates that are coming in that need to be finalized, because all that gets blah, 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 blah rolled into stuff. I don't know. It's all business stuff. And yeah, I'm better at being a witch and a show host and a corporate real estate tycoon type thing. Let's see. What else? Does anybody have any questions? I'm not going to give you the address yet because I don't know. I feel weird about jinxing it. So we're going to hold off on that. But let's see. Where are we? Okay, so no questions yet. Hey, Gail. Hey, Peggy. Hey, Bella. Hey, Allie. Hey, everybody. Yesterday was Allie's birthday. Allie is our general manager of the WitchLab store. Let's give Allie a big happy birthday. Happy birthday, Allie. She's amazing. She works really hard. Hi, Jason. So yeah, so far, it is a tight schedule. Ugh. But we have tons of help. So many people have signed up to help us so far. And this is going to be a little bit like a telethon. So I'm going to be like, hey guys, sign up. The first thing I'm going to say, this first form I'm going to post is the sign-up sheet, literally. So if you want to help us move, or you want to just stay in the loop on information, I swear every time I have tried to sit down and write an update for the people who have signed up for updates, something changes immediately. And so I'm holding off on any other updates right now, but you'll be on our mailing list, and I'm sure we're going to send out sweet things when we open up and, share this new building with all of you. I can't wait. I was hoping that I would have a walkthrough already, like a video walkthrough that I could show you guys. Not yet. Patience. teaches us lots of things. Janet, is it close by? It is 5 blocks away from the current WitchLab, so you can make it there. Even if you walk to WitchLab now, you can still get there. Oh yeah, I'm posting things. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been doing a live show, so it's going to be a little bumpy, but how about we put this? No, come on. Do it right. There we go. This first one is a sign-up form to stay in the loop, to get on our mailing list, to sign up to volunteer. And you know, that's anything from packing, painting, moving, being a cheerleader, showing up with cupcakes, whatever, just showing up and saying, hey, this is exciting and I'm here for you. So that's that one. The next one, and this is where it becomes more like a telethon, is the GoFundMe. And we need it. We need as much help as we can get on the GoFundMe. So even if you can't do it, just share it. Just put it out there, because every little bit helps everybody. Yeah, 5 blocks from the current location. Yeah, I can't tell you which direction or anything like that, but it's about 5 blocks. So next one is the where'd it go? There we are. The GoFundMe. I want to talk about the GoFundMe really quick. I know I only have like a minute left before I'm supposed to start on my schedule of people. But the GoFundMe does a weird thing. So when I first, why is a GoFundMe? Why? Oh, I'll tell you right now. Thank you, Jack. When I first signed up for the GoFundMe, it does this thing, right? I put in like, we're going to need 20 grand. And I know that because not only do we have to pay the obviously first, last security deposit on the new place while we're still paying rent at the old place, we are going to need to redo all of the plumbing that we did for the WitchLab lounge. And we're going to need to hire a new architect, and we're going to need to get permits pulled, and we're going to need to get back into all the food safety stuff. And all of that costs a lot of money. Last year, you know, you go into debt opening a thing thinking that you're going to pay this off over the next 10 years or so. And you don't expect to have to pull out that kind of money again in 1 year. So yeah, the GoFundMe is really needed. And again, you don't have to give money to it, but maybe share it, you know, see if maybe somebody else can give $20 or whatever. I think we've got like, you know, I don't know how many TikTok followers we have, but I know it's a ton. And if they literally each gave $1, I think we'd be good. But yeah, so it's needed because otherwise, you know, I'm either going to have to take out more loans, which terrifies me, or not open again, which is not a fucking option. That's not going to happen. That's I promise you, that's not going to happen. Good, that's not going to happen. So yeah, the GoFundMe is there. Oh, and what I was saying before, so I put a $20,000 thing in, and they do this weird thing where they step it, and they make it look like you're only asking for a certain amount. It's like a manipulation. So then people, you know, we would get up to like 3,000, and people are like, "Oh, you're so close to your goal," and I'm like, I feel like I'm lying to people, and I feel like they are getting excited, but I'm just like, we're not even close yet. I literally need $8,000 by the time I sign this lease, and we have $6,000 in the GoFundMe now. So that's just the lease part. So again, you asked why we GoFundMe, Jack, and so I'm telling y'all that's why, because we need monies. But there's many ways to give, which is time, help, support, love. Just light a candle, whatever, and come to the fundraiser. Take this class that Jason Miller is graciously donating all of the proceeds to. Hecate's Message. It's happening October 7th. It's going to be fantastic. Jason Miller is one of my favorite teachers. I'm biased because we've been friends for like 35, 40 years. But also he curses a lot when he teaches, and I like that. So, okay. I think I've gone over everything that I wanted to go over. Oh, yeah, no, Doug, there is going to be a raffle and a silent auction at the fundraiser. So right now, and I am not actually running the fundraiser. Bailey Sandin has graciously offered to step in and run that. So that's wonderful. She has reached out to all the vendors and the bands and everything, and so they're getting back to her. That's lovely. Yes, that's the October 3rd event. October 3rd, big fundraiser. Last event at WitchLab Lounge. The last day the store will be open is going to be October 4th. And then we start moving October 5th. Fingers crossed. Okay, that's enough of me. Let's get our first guests out here. So our first guests are Tony Rotunda and Stephen Intermill from the Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magic. Let's bring them out here. Hi, babies. Hi. Let's see about different layouts. God, no, not that one. Hey, that one's not bad. I like that. That's fun. Okay.
Tony, I didn't know we were going to be first.
Yeah, there was a sketch.
I saw the lineup today and I thought, oh, that's kind of nice. I'm glad. I set my timer so that we don't go over. And
I know that Tony usually gets nervous about being on camera, so I wanted you to get it out of the way so you can enjoy the rest of the show.
Yeah.
And then also I wanted you to come first so I could publicly blame you, shame you for making this whole show happen. Because Tony is the reason that we're doing this WitchLab Wednesday Live at all today. She came to see me the other day. I was having an incredibly bad day. She came in to hang out with me. She's like, you know what you need to do? A WitchLab Wednesday Live. And I almost threw up on the spot. No, but she was absolutely right. And within 5 minutes, I kid you not, 5 minutes, she had more than half the lineup already confirmed. Just sitting there in my office. I'm like, oh my God. Oh no, it's real. It's happening. So here we are, and it's all Tony's fault. I just want to say that forever.
I'm glad. I'm glad you did it. I'm glad everyone is here to support you. We are, as a community, love and support you in everything that you do. So we're excited. We're excited for things.
I love you guys so much. Yeah, and Sarah says, thank you, Tony. Yeah, we're all very excited that you made this happen. So let's get to the question. The question is, what was the first witch store that you experienced? Where was it? What was it called? Is it still in existence? Either one. Steve, you go first. Steven.
Okay. I guess the first witch store that I ever experienced was it's called Manifestations, and it was in downtown Cleveland. And when I was like 15 years old, I got a real taste for going to the city, and my mother would drop me off at the Rapid. And I was talking to Tony about it yesterday. I was like, isn't it annoying that she just dropped me off at the Rapid? Because she could have just taken me downtown. And now as an adult, I'm thinking about it. And it was 10 minutes to the Rapid. It was a half hour downtown. And boy, would that really chew up a big chunk of the day. So now I get it, Mom. But at the time, I was just like, she should have just taken me downtown. So anyway, I would take the Rapid down. And I would go to this great bookstore. It was the old Erie Street bookstore. And I would go there and I'd look at the occult books. And then I would go to the Galleria in downtown Cleveland. And if you've seen the new Superman movie, they shoot a romantic scene with Lois Lane there. Superman and Lois Lane. So that's the same spot that I'd go to. And I would hit Manifestations and I'd bug the guy, but I probably didn't really buy anything. Which is karma that I'm paying for these days, I know. And
but you can understand those kids, can't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I get it. And then I would go to Super City Comics and buy some comic books there. And but I just loved Manifestations so much. I just thought it was such a cool shop. Had quite an array of tarot cards. The guy, and I've always wondered who this guy was, and I wonder if he's ever been to the Buckland, but he was just this mystic guy, and probably looked a lot like I do now. Yeah.
Like a wizard?
Manifestations. What a great shop. Downtown Cleveland. But
that's awesome. How old were you?
15, 16.
Nice. Mm-hmm.
We would go to the old Erie Street bookstore, and the guy that owned it, Mark Stevie, he was texting me today, annoyed that I was buying something from him. But he used to razz me quite a bit. And now he shows up with cool stuff. There's a door that we have on display in the museum. It's a palmistry door. And he found it a couple years ago, and like a antique mall someplace hours from here, and he showed up and he goes, Steven, I'm only going to charge you 4 times what I paid for it. Well, okay, thanks, Mark. But I think Mark was just as pivotal to create the person I am now. But he had an incredible occult book collection.
Yes.
So Manifestations, an old Erie Street bookstore.
Okay.
Right at the formative time. And I think there was another thing. At lunch, there was a woman named Allie Minnie. Well, she's a woman now, and she was a teenager. And she used to read my tarot cards for me. And a couple years ago, somebody came into the museum and they were talking about tarot. And they were talking about how years ago, this woman, Allie Minnie, read her tarot. What is happening right now? I found it completely shocking. So those 3 right there, very formidable.
Fantastic.
Created this.
Fantastic. All right, Tony.
So first off, I'm in Columbus, Ohio, and with you, not too far from you, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some great shops here in Columbus. And the Magical Druid, yours, Blessed Be, there's quite a few. But years ago, about 30 years ago, there was a shop on the west side of Columbus, a little tiny house. And it was a really, really bad location, super bad.
Weird.
I just thought these people were really, really brave to take this house and turn it into a metaphysical shop called the Cat in the Cauldron, old shop, 30 plus years ago. And I would drive by it, not stopping because there was always yellow crime tape. Somebody got murdered next door. There was a drug bust. There was always something going on around the neighborhood. But this meticulous little house with, lined drive and no trash, and the grass was always beautiful, always stood out with the Cat in the Cauldron. And one day I had some time and I stopped. And I went in, and the owner, her name was Kat. And that started a great friendship. Walked in, and when you walk into a witch shop and the smell, the aroma, the feeling.
The feeling.
Yes, and it's like you just feel like you're home. You're home. And so she and I started to relate because I was in my early 20s. I had a lot of questions, and a lot of times she would just hand me a book. I remember it was an Edgar Cayce book. She'd hand me a book and say, just take it and bring it back. Okay. And I did. And so we, and I would call her and ask her questions. So she was like one of my very first teachers. And we became friends. And then one day she invited me to a seance. And I thought, I'm good. I don't know. I'm good. No, she says, well, we need 13 people. We need 13 people. Okay. Well, when is it? Well, it's in a couple weeks. Okay. Well, if you don't find your the 13th person, I don't know why, but if you don't find your 13th person, I will come. Otherwise, I'm good. I don't really want to. I have issues. You know me, you've met me. I already have issues with the dead people and, the speaking of, and I don't know that I wanted to be in a table in public. And I just told her, look, I will if you don't, but please find a 13th person. Well, she did it. And that afternoon she called and said, can you please come? And, that was a pivotal moment going for that. And Stephen is not aware of this, but if I had not gone to that meeting, he and I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
This is what I'm talking about.
We would be, and I'll tell you the whole story, but that's WitchLab 2.0 but I went, and that is when a little English white-haired gentleman approached me and said, hello, I'm Raymond Buckland. And that was my first meeting of Raymond. And I was young. I didn't really know much
How old were
about
you?
him. I didn't even know who he was when I met him. So, which made it all the more better because I wasn't nervous and we sat next to each other and we joked and we talked. And because of that meeting,
Oh my
that
God.
pivotal seance that I didn't want to go to, that started a relationship with Raymond Buckland. And so here we are. Here we
How
are.
old were you?
I was 22, 23. So over 30 years ago. Over 30 years ago.
And because of all that, we have this show right now. Because
really?
of you. Because, well, I mean, what I'm saying is like, we wouldn't have done this without you right here.
Yes,
like,
yes.
right.
Yes.
So all of that from one little witch visit.
Going to that seance, and I was like, no, I don't.
I don't know that anyone tonight is going to be able to top the first time I went to a witch store. It ended up with me at a seance with Raymond Buckland.
Yeah. So since then, we have the Buckland Museum, and it's thanks to Stephen. Stephen does a wonderful job. We all love Stephen.
We do love Stephen.
But without having met Ray and building that friendship and that relationship and then everything else that went with it, who knows where that museum, well, I know where the museum, that's a topic for another show, but I know where that museum would go. I know where it was going had we not gone down to save it. So yeah, so the Cat and the Cauldron on the west side, and we all owe it to Cat and Cat was instrumental in bringing Ray back out and bringing him back into the public. So
that's a hell of a story.
That's where we
lovely.
Are. But yeah.
I'm so glad that you brought up the local shops around here because I was meaning to do that in my preamble. Once again, I didn't write any script, so all the things I was going to mention, I forgot. But yes, exactly. We have so many great shops here in Columbus, but also we have a lot of shops that are closing right now in Columbus.
Yeah.
I know that my staff can help me with this because I think I'm forgetting some of them. I know Brewing Intentions is about to close. Big Liz's Contra Corner. There is another one that's closing like this month, and I can't remember who it is, but I'm hoping that Allie or somebody will jump on and remind me because I we are losing things that are really important to different communities. WitchLab is not only a witch shop, but also a music venue. And so there was just this article recently that we're losing all of our small music venues. And I wanted to be like, hey, also witch stores. We're also losing a lot of our little witch stores. Brewing Intentions one, but there was another one. That's losing also. Everybody's telling Brewing Intentions. That's the one I can remember too. But there was another one. One is closing right away, and the other one was closing at the end of the month. I can't remember which is which. But yeah, when I first got here, when I first got to Columbus, there was Salem West. Drew was still operating Salem West, and in 2000, I moved here in 2000, and I think it was either 2001 or 2002 that I went to one of the last witches balls that he put on.
Drew.
And
AJ Drew.
Yeah, and that was fantastic. It was filled with so many teachers. I learned so much, and I was very new to town. I didn't know anybody, and I just sort of stumbled into Salem West, and I went. I also went to oh my God, Psyche's place.
Psyche tour. Yeah.
But Fly by Night was her place.
Yeah.
And that the woman who taught tarot there changed my life. She got me to understand the minors in a way that I was having such a blockage that it really, just helped me grasp bigger, deeper concepts. I'm trying to think what other stores were here when I first got here, because almost all of them are. Magical Druid was here. And I first encountered them. They had a booth at ComFest. For those of you who aren't local, ComFest is our community fest. It's huge. It happens the last weekend of June, and there's vendor booths for as far as the eye can see. And they had a booth, and it was the only metaphysical booth that I saw. And I don't even know if their brick and mortar was actually open or if it was just like a meeting place at the time. But I fell in love with that too. And for a long time, before I opened WitchLab, that's where I shopped. And still do. I can't help it. They have amazing things. When I go see Seamus, I end up spending money because, you know, they're an amazing shop. If you haven't been to the Magical Druid, or you haven't been to Blessed Bee, or you haven't been to any of the many shops we have, go to Violet Flame Gifts in Newark. God damn it. She has amazing stuff. But if you can't make it out there, she'll be here at Arcane Alley in September, at the end of September. September 27th.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Fly by Night does not still exist. I wish it did. Psyche is still in town.
She is still in town.
Sweetheart.
She's still around. Yeah.
But yeah, it's a thing. You have to support them, and you have to go to them, and you have to buy incense at least. Buy some incense, buy some candles, buy your consumables, and say hi, and you know, see what other amazing things. Oh, Kindred Collective, that was the other one. Kindred Collective, which is a little shop on the west side in Hilliard that I got to visit once. And
I haven't been to that one.
now gone. Actually, we did, Tony. It was with you that I went. It was when we went to see that little shop that was on the west side.
Mm-hmm.
Neva. It was Neva Massey's shop that we went to visit, and then we stopped because there was this little like rock shop that was in a plaza, and we were like, "What's that?" And it was a cute little shop.
Yeah,
they're closing too.
Sad.
It is.
Cleveland's got quite a few shops as well.
Oh yeah.
Great shops.
I mean, you've got the Buckland Museum, which has a shop, and that shop is amazing. And you get to see some of the incredible history of witchcraft, not only history, but also current authors, practitioners, and their implements are now in there. A lot of our guests tonight have stuff in the museum. Yes.
They do. It's amazing.
It is amazing. If you haven't been there, go there. Get a tour. Stephen is an amazing tour guide. He taught me so much about the stuff that was in there, and then I just wanted to look around forever. And they have a great shop, and you can buy stuff. I think that our time is up for you guys, but let's check the ye old schedule. I think our next thing up is actually Najah. So Najah couldn't be here, but she has graciously sent us a video. I want to make sure that don't do anything weird, Tiffany. Please don't. Okay, let's see. Schedule. Where is it? Yes, Najah is up next, and her video is only 8 minutes long, so we've got a little time to kill before we do that. But yeah, Najah is. Let's talk about Najah for a minute. She's amazing. She's a sweetheart. Her and I hit it off so hard when I first met her to get her on the show. And she's been here for many. She was here for Dark Market 1 year. She's been on the show, and she's taught classes for us. But she's just one of the loveliest people in the whole world.
She really is, and she donated a staff to the museum. That's lovely. It's lovely.
Absolutely stunning. So yeah, it's one of the funner things to show our guests. Truly inspiring to people. People beam when they see it. So
not only do people donate things, but Tony actually builds display cases for them. So they got a lot of times they have custom display cases that Tony does.
Which I have something over here that Tony needs to build a case for.
Oh, show us. Why do you look scared, Tony? What's going on?
It's coming from Steven, so it could be anything.
You just had this. Oh no, what? What do we got?
This is a staff that was donated to the museum via Hadean Press. Jake Stratton Kent's issue staff.
Wow.
And it's so amazing, and it's so cool. And I talk about psychometry a lot at the museum. And just holding it right now, I feel like electricity is going through like more electricity than the normal nervous system. And Tony, you have to build a staff or a case for the staff here like sooner than later.
Okay.
It's starting to make everything in my office like too heavy. So we need to get this in the museum where it belongs. But I don't want to just tuck it away in a corner of a case somewhere.
It needs its own highlighted area.
Absolutely. How tall is that? What's the height?
So normal cane height.
Okay. Oh, okay. So it's a cane.
Yeah.
Okay. Or cane height. Got you.
I can do
that thing is cool.
Yeah, the vibes on this thing are through the roof. So.
Yeah. And honestly, it reminds me a little bit of Lord Satin, the performer that, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw it. Because I think you have the mask in your office. And
I don't, actually. Lord Satin took that mask with him, even though it was mine.
So
it's okay, better on him anyway.
Tony, this is something greatly needs your carpentry skills.
Okay.
Jack Trade says it needs a pimp hat.
It does.
Oh, fantastic. So somebody said, let's see, the lovely ladies from Mystic Sisters. Mystic Sisters is another local shop.
Sisters, yes.
Mystic Sisters, they are in Grandview.
In Grandview.
And then there's what's that other one? Mystic Nirvana, that's up in Westerville.
I've not been to that one either.
I've not been there.
I don't know. I do. Actually, I want Stephen to tell you we have an art exhibit coming up very, very soon within the next 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe continues on to WitchLab after.
Yeah, you find a new space for this because it's really beautiful.
Can you say her name?
Yeah, Luciana Lupe Vasconcelos from Brazil. The name of the exhibit is Familiar Spirits, but in Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese, so I don't know how to say it. But it's
here in the next 2 weeks. Luciana Lupe Vasconcelos is
that's it. Luciana Lupe Vasconcelos. Yeah,
and you've seen her work.
She's amazing. Her work is amazing. It is incredible. It reminds me of like a old school. Oh my God, Austin Osman Spare. It reminds me of some Spare, and it also who's the other artist? She did
Rosalind
Norton.
That's the one. Thank you. Yeah. Yes.
It's like Rosalind Norton, Cameron, and Spare all blended together.
Yeah.
And I have such a weakness for occult artists, especially when it has that channeled vibe look to it, and that's what her stuff has, and it's incredible. Incredible.
Especially when it's good.
Yeah.
And the stuff is just sublime, I guess, is the best.
Yeah.
We were just expecting a few pieces, but she sent us over 80 pieces. Some that you did not even see. You didn't see when you were over. But there are over 80 pieces.
There's so many. And Sarah wants to know, what dates are you exhibiting her work?
Well, it's on the wall right now. We just have to.
It's now.
I'm waiting for the vinyl letters to show up before we make a official announcement.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys have access to the chat? Like, can you type in things? Can one of you type in her name? Because everyone's like, what is that name? No matter how many times you hear it. Yeah. And
if I do it, my whole screen's going to tilt that way. It's balancing on the charge cord. So
okay.
I think Steven's got it. And AJ says here, if you need help hanging, but it's up now. You said it's up now, yeah. Right.
Most of it. There's still a lot.
So yeah, AJ says please reach out. AJ is the curator. I mean, obviously she was AJ of the Vanderelli room, but also she curates all the art that's in WitchLab now. So, and if you have a piece in WitchLab that's part of the Holy Horror Show, you'll probably be picking it up soon. But if you have a piece that's part of the more permanent collection, AJ will be the one in charge of moving those pieces because that's what he does. Luciana Lupe Vasconcelos. Oh, God, I've been trying to say that name right for so long. Vasconcelos. Luciana
He is a beautiful, beautiful person. She's amazing.
She is, and her artwork is fantastic. Okay, I think that we should play the Najah video then. Yeah, let's. All right, you guys can actually stay on for now because I think that I can just share screen and we'll all stay here. Dun, 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 dun.
It's Najah.
Hi, Tiffany and everybody on Wednesday Night Live. Thank you so much for inviting me to be on tonight. Tiffany, I wish you the best. It's so good to be back on your show and with everybody else who's also going to be speaking and sharing their goodness tonight. And I also want to say hello to everybody out there listening. So, Tiffany, how you been? It's been a long time. Uh, I've been doing pretty good, been holding steady. I have a new book coming out, which I'm super excited about. But before we get to that, he did ask me a question about the importance of community and the importance of a really good witch store. So I wanted to take a moment and speak to that. I have been to several stores in my journey as a writer, as a witch, as a magical person. But honestly, I have to say, my time that I spent at WitchLab several years ago when I came and taught a class there when I was visiting Columbus was exceptional. Your store is just like it's what you dream of when you go into a witchy store. I loved the stage that was there, all the items you had. You had everything that, anybody who's interested in witchcraft or the occult or paranormal or spirituality, just ways to use our natural gifts and intuition and things that we may be interested in learning or practicing, you had there in your store. And so it was a really wonderful place, and I know that you are in the process of moving. So I do wish you all the best with your new venue. I know it's going to continue to be a success and a beacon and a place of wonderful community and gathering for people who are seekers, who are like-minded, or who just want to come in and hang out in a really cool place and get a great spiritual vibe. I do remember talking about community that when I did teach my class there in Columbus, I had such a great time, and I can't thank you again enough for inviting me to teach at your wonderful store. And it was super great for with all the people who came out to visit and who actually came to my class. We had such a good time, and that was back in I don't know in 2022 maybe. It's possible that that's when I was there. So it's been a while, but the memories of that night still stick with me in my heart. And one of the best things was how wonderful my class was received. And I just loved walking around your store and seeing all the different things. One of the things I remember that really caught my eye was the two-headed goat that you had at the taxidermy. I've never forgotten that. That was really great. And then one of the sweetest things that happened was after class, talking about sitting around and having community, and myself and you and some other people, we all sat together after my class was over in a little area in your store, and we brought out some libations and we sat around and drank and talked, and we called it witches after night or witching after night, something like that. And it was so fun, and time just seemed to just move by really quickly. And that was really a sense of community for me. And I loved it. There was no script, there was nothing being directed for us to talk about. We just sat in your magical space and poured the wine, poured the whiskey, and we just sat and drank and had a good time talking just about all the stuff that matters to us and that we find important in our path and in our lives as witches or practicing people of magical practices and things like that that interest us. And those gatherings, it's those times that really stick with me. And so I so appreciate that you have created a space where people like myself and like-minded other individuals or people who are just interested in learning about spirituality, magical spirituality, or the occult or paranormal things, and can come and they can feel welcome and know that their questions and things that they might not be comfortable asking someplace else or talking with to somebody else, that they can do that in your store. So I again thank you so much for being that beacon in that community in the Columbus area, in the Ohio area, but not only there, through your social media, because there are lots of us who we don't have that kind of community or place around us where we can just walk into a physical space and have that sense. So your online presence is really, really good and really important. And I know I appreciate that as well, seeing all your social media posts and things that you say are going on, because even if we don't have that own community where we live, just looking out on social media and seeing that these events or gatherings are happening, gives us some inspiration and hope to keep going. So that's a little bit about the community and how important that Witch Lab is to the community. And then speaking about what I have going on, I'm very excited because in November I am going to be releasing my third book, my third published book, and it is called The Spiritual Magic of Dolls. And I am just passionate and super excited about my book coming out. It's going to be published by Redwell Wiser Books, and it's just been a work of love and truly the gift of my heart and soul, of magic that matters to me. And I'm so thankful and very happy that many people will know her name, that Judica Illis, who's my editor, she also wrote the foreword to my book. And so my book is actually up now for pre-order everywhere. You can find it at online retailers everywhere. And I'm very excited to bring my passion, my gifts about the spiritual magic of dolls. And so I'd like to introduce you to my doll, my personal doll, who is our cover doll. She's on the cover of my book, and she is actually a real doll. And this is her. And I just love her. So I think she's super special, and I'm going to share with people in my book really some really heartfelt, interesting things about dolls, how dolls are created, about the spiritual magic of dolls. Of course, it's the haunted witchy season. So, yes, I will be talking about some dolls who, that they do get the word haunted attached to them. But, that's really not the whole focus of the book. The book is really about working with dolls and trying to keep. The magic alive and how ancient dolls are and why dolls do have a presence, and so how you can work with your dolls. And I mostly focus on dolls that are gifted to us or come to us as heirlooms, dolls that you may find in antique stores or vintage stores, and dolls you may buy brand new in a box in a store, or like this one, her story is I found her in a vintage store in the bottom of a playpen, and she was way down there in the bottom, and she turned out to be super special. She's been with me for a very long time, and so I'm very happy to share my passion about dolls and working with dolls, and how to be with them. And also, if people like may be a little bit afraid of dolls and they don't know exactly how to work with them, I talk about that in my book. Or if you're wanting to get closer with your doll, or also if you have dolls that maybe you feel it's time to move them on, how you can do that with love and respect for the doll. So anyway, that's what's going on with me. So thank you so much. I wish everybody well, and thank you for having me on your show. And okay, bye everybody. See you soon.
Bye, Najah. Oh God, I love her so much. Oh man, I wish you were here because I have a million questions now. I want to talk about her doll book, but this has really inspired me to possibly keep going with WitchLab Wednesday Live. So maybe we'll get her on, right? Maybe we'll do a thing. You get to spend a whole night with me and Najah. Okay, we are definitely beyond our limit, so I'm going to let you guys go. Thank you. And again, anybody who wants to hang out backstage, God, you guys, the people who are watching, you should see my backstage right now. You'd be so excited. There's so many people back there, and they're all waiting to come on. But right now, I'm going to take you guys off, and if you want to hang out, also, if you have just something to say, like, just put it in the thing. People are like, hey, put me on right now. All right, let's see. Okay,
Thank you, Tiffany.
See you in a bit. And let's bring on Sarah Mastros. That was
Hi,
good.
everybody.
Really well.
Right? Fabulous.
Yay! Sarah Mastros is back, everybody.
Oh, thank you for having me. I had so much fun last time.
I'm so happy that you're back. I'm going to say
I'm
this
happy
over
to
and
be
over
here.
again to so many people because I love all of my shows, but it was one of my favorite shows.
All right. I
We
say
talked
if I were to make a list of favorite interviews I've done, that might be the very best one.
Oh, you stop it right now!
I mean, I'd have to think about it, but you're definitely like top 5.
I'll just take that. I'll just take best.
I mean, you were great. Like, I loved it. I had so much fun on that. If people haven't seen it, look it up on YouTube. We talked for maybe 2.5 hours.
We did, and then afterwards we talked even longer.
Oh yeah, after we cut the audience off, we talked for another maybe hour and a half.
Oh my God, it was crazy. It was lovely, and you were sick the whole time. She was all hopped up on meds, and she's still.
There was like cough syrup, so I was like maybe a little cough syrup drunk.
Yeah, I was like sipping whiskey, and she's all like cough syruping it, and it was wild. It's wild. All right, Sarah, tell me about a witch store that affected you, either your first one or a one somewhere along the line.
So my very first witch store, I calculated it while you're talking to other people. So in 1991, this store opened. It was called Concentrics with an X. And it was like a new age / crystal / like maybe lesbian bookstore. And it was right behind my dad's office. So like here was my dad's office and a parking lot. And then like across this and an alley. And then it was basically right there.
Hell yeah,
right?
For access.
So,
yes.
Yeah, so I used to go all the time. And I was young. I mean, I was maybe 13 or 14 the first time I went in. And, you know, I want to be like, I was very awkward when I was little, as if I'm not still very awkward. But this is actually me with an additional 35 years of learning how to person. I was not very good at it. So, like, I didn't have, like, a super strong relation. Like, I never really talked to people. I just kind of, like, hid in the corner. And also, it wasn't, like, the ideal bookstore for me, right? Like, it was not quite witchy, but it was way witchier than anything else in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania at the time, right? So it was very exciting.
Right. Lancaster, yeah.
There were not other, I mean, it was that or the library was great, right? Or the Natural History Museum, which I found very witchy. But yeah, no, that was the natural, we had a little natural history museum in Lancaster that had like a geology section. So like, that's where I learned about rocks. And stars, I guess I also learned there, and plants. Yeah, but no, Concentrics was amazing. And like I said, like it was right behind my dad's office where we frequently were, right? So like we went to work with my dad pretty often and just hung around because you could also walk to the library from his office. So I was in and out of there. He was a realtor.
Okay. So he was busy and it was an office type thing and you got bored and let's go walk to the lesbian bookstore.
Yeah, I mean, like, basically, if my mom had to go out, my dad's idea of watching the kids was to maybe just sit us in his conference room with, like, paper and crayons when we were young. But by the time we were older, but again, you could walk to the library, and it was downtown, so you could walk. Like, where we lived, you couldn't really walk anywhere from where we lived. Like, which in some sense was nice. There were trees and nature, right? But you couldn't, we couldn't go to the library or, like, the bodega or anything by ourselves until I learned to drive, really. Right. So we used to go in downtown with my dad all the time. And I used to go to Concentrics. And then, so that was my first, right? And I was quite young. And it's closed now for decades, right? It closed a long time ago. Which, like, I mean, they did a good run. They were probably there for 15 or 20 years.
That's a good run.
But again, right. But I'm saying I'm aged. So that was some time ago, right? And then when I moved to Pittsburgh, so we're lucky. We have tons of witch stores in Pittsburgh. And I'm like, I feel bad that I can't even name them all, right? So like Moonstones in Dormont, which maybe isn't even in Dormont anymore. I think they moved, right? And Sparkle Dragon Emporium, which what a great name. But Arts and Crafts Botanica, I actually think recently closed. Or is temporarily closed, right? But Hocus Pocus, which is in Oakland, which is like in the university district of Pittsburgh, basically, has been there the whole time I've been in Pittsburgh. It's been there, I don't know, I got here in 1999 and it was well established at that point. And that's always been like, when I think about a witch store that really made me, it's that one, right? And it's super tiny. It's one small room, and it's packed, and it was the first like witchy witch store I'd been in, right? So I'd been in like new age stores that had some books on herbalism and like some nice, pretty cleaned up books, but they didn't like me. Like if I got to talking to those people, they like found out I was a witch. I was like, where are your devil worship books? Because again, awkward as a kid. And I didn't maybe understand there were like gradations of witchcraft. And I was too weird for the witches, actually, I think. But also just autistic and a kid and didn't know how to talk to people. And I was a little kid asking for devil books, right? I was 13, but I probably looked 9 or 10 because I still look like I'm 12. Right. So, but no, Hocus Pocus was great. It was like super witchy. Eye of Horus was a great store in Pittsburgh. It's been closed for a long time. Yeah, we're really blessed. We have so many here. And I'm so happy that you made this the theme, because I always say this, that I think like young people, especially people who got into witchcraft like post-COVID, have no understanding of how important these local stores are to our community. Like, that is how you meet people. And I'm in no way attempting to doom speak, but I do think that like it's an important time. Like WitchLab is in trouble. We're going to definitely help you guys through it. Like, you're going to make it through this, but so many stores are struggling. So I really, really encourage people to go visit those stores. You know, I know you think you can get everything online, but what you can't get online is the experience of doing magic in a room with people whose hands you are holding and breath you are sharing. And there is no substitute for that. Like, it's amazing. And those witch stores are how you meet people. Like, if you're new to town and you want to meet other witches, go talk to the person in the witch store, because they know everybody. You know, if you want to start a book club, go talk to the witch store, because I bet they got a closet you can do it in. You know, I've gone to many, I've been to so many like witch book clubs that were in a storage room with a table, and you know what? Fabulous, because we were all living in tiny dorms and like tiny little apartments. Like, I couldn't put 10 people in my apartment, right? So those stores really are so important. I love them so much. Every time, you know, I've moved a lot, and every time I move, that's one of the first places I go. In fact, when I'm checking out neighborhoods, I go. And then, do I have time to talk about one more store?
You do.
Another store.
Have that, and also what's going on with you.
Oh, that's true. I better talk about that. I actually have a lot of stuff to say. It's exciting. Maybe my favorite. You know, I've actually never been to WitchLab, so hopefully I'll get to come visit. But my favorite witch store is Watkins Books in London, which my brother lives in England, so I go visit England like once a year. I'm actually hoping to move to the UK next summer. But Watkins Books is amazing. Every time I'm like, don't buy things, Sarah, don't buy things. But there's books I've never even heard of. And I'm technically like in this business. You'd think I knew so, but every time I'm there, I find amazing stuff. They have great presentations every Thursday. So there's author readings every Thursday. It's a new person, and also sometimes other nights. Also, their carpet has the Egyptian god Thoth on it. Yeah, like I should have looked up a photo to share with you guys. I know that sounds ridiculous, but they have this amazing green carpet with like a print of Thoth, which I assume is custom made for them because that's like their logo. But they've been there, I don't know, forever. The person who runs the occult section, his name is Carl, is amazing. I really, really recommend it. That's, I think, my favorite.
So Watkins
Books in London.
Watkins Books in London. Well, lovely. Okay, so tell us about what's going on with you.
So many things. So actually just today, it's exciting. I got the very final like proof of Introduction to Witchcraft, 13 Lessons in the Practice of Magic. It's going to the printer in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. It'll be out at Halloween. You can pre-order it anywhere. I'm just going to make an announcement. I know that Amazon updated the release date to mid-November, but no, I talked to the publisher. We are still expecting it to be shipping by Halloween. In fact, we are so confident it'll be out on time that I'm going to do a live book launch at Malloway Brothers in Chicago.
Hell yeah.
On October 18th. I will be there live. That's a Saturday. let's see what else is going on.
Just real quick, Jason Miller says Watkins is 130 years old.
Oh yeah, it's old. It's a very it's been there for a long time. It's been a pillar of the occult community forever, I think. And yeah, it's really great. If you're ever in London, I really recommend it. There's also it's on this weird tiny little foot traffic only alley that has other antique bookstores. There's an Alice in Wonderland store that has a first edition of Alice in Wonderland that's half a block away. The whole street that they're on, which I feel bad that I don't know what that street is called, but probably somebody in the comments will tell us, is amazing. So I could easily spend a whole afternoon there. There's a crazy antique jewelry store across the street. Very good.
It.
Yeah, it's like Diagon Alley from Harry Potter if that were cool. If that were actually awesome.
That were a real thing and it were amazing. It's that place.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
What else do I have coming up? So like I said, October 18th, I'm in Chicago. Halloween weekend, I am at Florida Pagan Gathering. I'm gonna run a dumb supper and teach color magic and something else that I don't remember, which I imagine is about pentacles. And I have a lot going on, and I perhaps should have looked up these things since I knew I was going to make this announcement, but I did not. And then the last thing I want to talk about is October 5th. My class, Working with the Dead, is restarting. So that's been a correspondence, text-only class for a long time. I'm going to start doing live videos. You can join anytime. And so in the raffle, I've got a scholarship for any of my courses, right? So Introduction to Witchcraft, the Solomonic Pentacle course, Working with the Dead, or there's other smaller classes you could pick instead of those if you wanted one of those.
I am going to have the fundraiser coordinator, Bailey, reach out to you just to get something to represent it to be in the.
I'll make you some pretty little.
It can literally just be a printout, something cool, right? Just picture your face, be like, "Hey, classes with me." Would be totally fine. Totally fine.
Absolutely.
I think that our time is up, but
Understood.
You hang out because again, anybody who's still here at the end, we're gonna all because I'm allowed to have 10 people on at once, and I'm excited to see what this looks like. So anybody who's still here, it's gonna be like a big old party.
I'll stay for a witch party.
A big old witch party. Okay. Right. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you for everything. I will talk to you.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love you. And
bye.
I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right. Here we go. Next, let's check the schedule, shall we? Lilith Dorsey is up next, and I believe that Lilith is here. Yes, she is. Lilith Dorsey, everybody.
Hello.
Hey, baby.
How are you doing?
Long time no see. I am you know what? I am great tonight. I can tell you that. This is amazing. You guys are giving me so much fucking life. You know what? I'm going to quit everything and just go back to running a show.
Yeah, right on. The life of leisure, right? That's how we do it, right? The Empire.
You're still in New Orleans, yeah?
Yeah, I am in New Orleans. Yes.
I remember the last time that we talked, you were about to make the move.
Yeah,
That's how long ago you were on the show.
I know, it was a while. It was like the beginning of the pandemic I moved, and that was insane. So I'm still recovering. Don't move in a pandemic. This is my advice, but a lot of people did. So it was a thing. Yeah.
Okay, so which store was the one or anyone that really stuck to you as a moving forward or a helping on your path?
It's funny, because before I was in New Orleans, I'm a New Yorker. I'm a native New Yorker. I won't sing at you. I promise.
We can't tell at all from your accent.
You can tell if I drink a lot. You can tell.
When you say New York, you say it like you're from New York.
I know, New York. I'm from Brooklyn. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And as my niece said, there's that sign, leaving Brooklyn, forget about it. She thought that was a lost indigenous tribe when she was about 11 years old. She's like, forget about it, right?
No. Oh, poor kids. We ruin them every day.
I know, it's hilarious. And I'm of a certain age. So I think my first one was probably Magical Child, right? Like stuff of legend. Uncle Herman and all of that. Herman. And I was so young. I must have been, probably old enough to get on the subway by myself and find the witches, right? Like that's my spiritual pilgrimage. And I went there and they used to have this amazing, like old rare book section. And I literally got thrown out. I got yelled at and thrown out as like the preteen who was in the place they shouldn't be because I didn't have no $100 for no fancy ass witch book. So, so that, but that spurred me on, right? Like, oh, you're going to tell me I can't have that. My name is Lilith. You,
You don't
you
know
will be
shit about
sorry.
me. That's amazing. You got thrown out of the magical child.
I did.
That is fucking
It's,
legend. I just want to say
I
that.
know. Colorful history. This is where I'm
Fucking
at.
amazing.
Really. Yeah. But I mean, there's so many I love. Terry was just talking about Arts and Crafts Pittsburgh, which I'm friends with, and they are open again. So that was a delight. I was there a couple of months ago. And, but now I think in New Orleans, we have a witch wars here, drama, for anybody who hasn't noticed. And it's kind of like a cross between a Kenneth Anger movie and a John Waters movie. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's actually really perfect. It's really beautiful. We're not going to name names.
No.
We know.
That's where we're at with that. So
That is hilarious.
Yeah. But I do recommend my Priestess Miriam, has had the Voodoo Spiritual Temple here for, I think, 32, 33 years now. I've been a member there for 28 of those years. So I highly recommend that. And as with every witch store and that temple as well, if you go by, go to buy. That's my advice for everybody.
Lilith Dorsey, everybody. That was it.
Right.
Like, I just want to put that as like a hey, let's put her name under that one. Amy Blackthorn, make us a thing.
Yeah, right.
If you go by, go to buy.
Yeah. Come on. Like, I mean, everybody wants to be helpful and kind. And, like the discussion was just about reaching out and community. And I think that's really beautiful. But, we need support, right? We have to put our money and our time and energy and support behind these places. So I
Let
just
me
think
post the
that's
GoFundMe again. I'm just kidding. But yes, that is real. Like, it costs money to run these things. And so yes, supporting them. Like, just go buy your damn consumables, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, definitely. And for me, like, it's funny to me for people, I'm, financially challenged, let's say that. And I have been most of my life, and I think that, but for me, am I going to use my magic to open up paths that will make me more successful or at least more sustainable in my life, right? Like, am I going to spend that $3 on a fancy candy bar? Or am I going to spend it on a crystal that might attract success or something like that for me? And for me, I'm always the one that will, I'll get the chocolate too if I can, but
Stephen Intermill says, if you go to buy. Rent is too damn high. It's turning into a song now, I think.
I like that. I'm gonna be the witchy rent is too damn high person, right? Like, let my hair out and have a moment.
But go buy. But yes, I just to support.
Yeah, definitely. It's a labor of love for all of these stores, and
It
supporting them
fucking
is so
is, right?
important.
Like, I mean, I definitely, I'm not in it for the money.
No, and so many of us were beginner witches, like I talk about that in my new book. We were all beginner witches at one time, even if we have family lineage and heritage and, intuitive knowledge, there was still a place where we were beginning. So this is the place that helps us nurture that beginning self and those, beginning ideas and thoughts and pathways, and it really did spark all of those things for me, so I'm happy all of those places were there, and it's easier now than ever before. I mean, the people going into it now should consider themselves really lucky, because it's not the kind of, as persecuted as it is, it's not as bad as it was in the 70s, 80s, those kinds of things, right?
Satanic panic and whatnot.
Definitely.
But not only for beginners, but also it's a place where teachers can go. Right?
Yes.
It's a beacon for all levels, because they, they have something to offer the beginners, right? And
Yeah.
beginners have something to offer their students, right? So it's like you can come together at these beacons, these meeting places, and no matter where your level, you either have something to add, right, to offer, or to get, right, to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think everybody has something to get, There's always another way of looking at things and another way of
Absolutely.
doing things, and magic is so subjective. So it's always important for me to interact with other people and hear, oh, well, you tried this below the equator. Did did the crystals swirl differently down the drain after the magical bath? What does that do? Like there's so many of these things. That could happen. So understanding
Yeah,
that and knowing
we'll have
that,
to ask Tamara about that one.
yeah,
Tamara von
yeah.
Forster. Well, how's it happen oh my God, Australia?
Australia, yeah,
How's it
yeah,
happen in Australia?
yeah. No, all of these things I think about, right? How does it happen in the land of the midnight sun? How does it happen in, here when we have 115 degrees most days? It's just like everything is so different and so subjective. So we're always learning, and these are real, like, like I said, beacons for people to come and learn no matter what their level. You're right.
Yeah, or to offer. Come and offer. Like, I love teachers who contact me and they're like, I have something to teach. Hell yes. Bring that to me,
Yes.
right? Because just because we run the shop doesn't mean we always have time to teach all the things, and we're also not experts in all the things.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
I
Definitely.
can't teach astrology to save my life. I have people who do. People are amazing. Forrest from New Week Cobalt just taught an amazing stuff at an astrology course at our place. Was fantastic.
Oh,
I can't
beautiful.
do that, but because she reached out, we could offer astrology classes.
Yeah,
It's supposed to
yeah.
be more rounded as a shop.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
we got 3 minutes left. Tell
Okay.
me what's going on with you. You said you have a new book.
Well, I have my latest book, which is Tarot Every Which Way, blah, blah, blah. And that's just tarot for all different kinds of witches. There's recipes. You mentioned astrology. So there's astrological correspondences. There's meditations. There's so many, the interviews that I've done over the past probably 15 years with everybody about their divination practices and how they started and their best yes, no, and all of that is in there as well, from
Right.
like Dorothy Morrison and Matt Oren and Courtney Alexander, so many people that are really leaders in the field, so that was important to me. Again, not to just have my opinion,
Right.
let's have other people's opinions
Right.
and how they look
Yes,
at it,
this is how we learn. Yes.
Yeah. So that's my latest book, and I'm all over the place, right? Like it's witch season right now at this thing. So I'm headlining Greater New Orleans Pagan Pride, which is October 4th, I believe.
Okay.
So that's going to be wonderful. I've never done the event before, but it's pretty big, and that's really an honor for me to headline New Orleans Pagan. I've headlined New York Pagan Pride, but now I'm headlining New Orleans Pagan Pride, so that's really nice. And I'm doing a lot online too. I'm doing my first ever like multi-week, 6 weeks class for Morbid Anatomy. A lot of people may know them. They're not just focused on magical things, but as the name
Oh no.
says, Morbid Anatomy.
Yeah,
They're
I've
focused on.
heard, I've seen something that their organization is great. Like, they've done a lot of cool shit.
They
Where
have.
is it morbidanatomy.com?
I believe so. You can find everything on my website and on my
Which
link
is
tree, which is all Lilith Dorsey, so, but that's my first 6 week class in the sort of African divine feminine, that kind of thing. So that'll be beautiful online. I'm going to be back in New York, actually, in person next month for the Occult Humanities Conference. I will get to see Stephen and Tony there. Yay!
he said that. Yeah.
Yeah. There we
Humanities
go.
Conference.
Yeah, so I'm excited. That's my alma mater, NYU. So I always like to go back when I can, right? I said to somebody, I'm going to eat my tuition money in cheese at the reception. So watch out. I might have a Ziploc baggie in there. I'm going to get it all back, I tell you. Yeah. So that'll be fun. And, here in New Orleans, I'm doing so many things as, Samhain approaches. So that'll be exciting. People can catch me, I think, at 2 different vampire balls. It's just going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. So I was just thinking, oh, what do you do? Oh, yes, I'm a professional witch and a vampire and all of these things. So it's
And
a
you're in
good
the
life.
perfect place. New Orleans is a place where you can thrive and do all of these things. and just be your crazy, beautiful self.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm so happy you were able to come on today. This is invigorating me, and I really think that we're going to move forward with this. So you let me know if you want to do a whole show.
Yes, definitely.
Just for you.
Just tell me when. Yeah. I would love to come back. It's been too long, right? Like,
Great. It's been since the stupid ass pandemic, which is the whole reason I started this show in the first place. Because I was panicked. I was so panicked. I didn't know what to do. How am I going to keep relevant? My shop had only been open for a year, and it was like, what? Like, oh my God, we have to close the doors. Fuck, what am I going to do? I did the thing that was the scariest thing to me, which was put my stupid face on the internet and be like, well, guys, here I am. And also here's all these amazing authors that I have to bring to you.
Yeah, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. But I love that.
Now I'm panicking again because I've only had the lounge open for a year. And oh my God, I have to do this again. So, but it's bringing back lots of life. You guys are bringing back so much life. I think you might be the first person that Tony texted, like on the list, because we were just going down the list, and once so the list was much longer, but because everybody we contacted said yes right away, I was like, okay, stop. I can't. We're gonna have like a weekend marathon if we keep going. So, but yeah, thank you for saying yes, and thank you for being amazing.
Of course. Thank you for having me on with these witchy all-stars. I feel like so privileged to be in this space and to be able to.
Absolutely motherfucking deserved. You're amazing. And I wish you the best of luck with all of the things that you have coming up. And tell me show me the book again. Let's give us the book again.
All right, here's speaking of vampires with the
tarot every which way.
Dracula's brides are on the front. Yeah. Of course they are, right?
You do love the vampires.
I do love the vampires. Yeah. But no, thank you. And people can find me online too. I think I'm doing 3 or 4 online events on top of that as well in the next couple of weeks. So,
and again, LilithDorsey.com.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Lovely. All right. Thank you so
come
much.
visit.
Yeah. We'll see you soon. Thank you. Everybody wave and say goodbye to Lilith. We love you. Bye. Okay. And I'm almost positive I don't have it, but yes, it is. It is Jason Minke who is next, and here he is. Ta-da!
How do I follow up Lilith? That's like so unfair.
Oh, shut up!
It's not fair. Like,
you are all stars. Every single person on this show is like, I didn't know. Like, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna throw it all in a thing and just schedule you that way. If you guys didn't have time constraints, I wasn't sure like. Are people going to get mad that they're for or last? I don't know. But thank God that you guys had things, because I was like, there is no hierarchy here. Everybody's fucking amazing.
This really does feel like the broadcast of all broadcasts, right? There's so many cool people. And you are one of the coolest people I've ever met.
The broad of all broads is bringing you the broadcasts of all broadcasts.
Heavy metal witch, baby,
we do vibe on our metal love. Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jason, the big question: a witch store that affected you, that helped you along at some point, or just you loved?
I grew up as a witch in Lansing, Michigan.
Okay.
So 2 hours from Detroit, city of 100,000 people, not small but not big. And just far enough away from Detroit that really wasn't close. And there was a store there called Triple Goddess Bookstore. And that was my jam. That was my place. Those people helped shape who I am, gave me opportunities. My first ever public ritual was at their metaphysical expo. And I ran it because I was an idiot and decided that would be a great way to break my public ritual cherry.
I'm going to replace idiot with brave person.
Yeah. Or dumb. Stop. But I was so in love with witchcraft, though, that I wanted to share it in a way. And they let me do that. And I got to do workshops at the metaphysical expos. I got to, do rituals at all the metaphysical expos. I mean, it really got me involved in this whole world that I'm a part of now. And also, they had a lot of books. So like almost all of my first books came from Triple Goddess Bookstore, unless they came from B. Dalton or Walden Books. way back in the day because I
The occult
discovered the
section of your
craft.
local mall.
Yeah. Well, I discovered the craft just a little bit before I moved to Michigan, and we didn't have an occult store there.
Mhm.
And when you don't have an occult store, you don't have any networking opportunities. That's what's great about occult bookstores. They bring our communities together. They're a neutral place. No one wants to say, come to my house. That's scary as fuck. Like, who knows what's in your house, right? Like, that is your home court advantage. I want to go to a neutral site, and that's what a good witch bookstore is about. That's that neutral spot. So that's that neutral spot because everybody knows the owner. Everybody's already comfortable there because it's a place that people go to. Like your store is like that, and you need that. If you're going to have a thriving community, you have to have that. And I don't think that people realize just how important and how much of an asset the witch stores are to what we do.
Thank you, and that's why I thought it was genius when this was actually again Tony's idea, but she was like, just have them talk about the witch stores that they loved. It's my favorite topic. Yes. So yeah, because they're the place where you can go and feel like to be able to go and do your first fucking ritual there, and who you are now and what you do. Stephen even said, you've perfected it by now. Summer solstice ritual was ace.
It only took 30 years. That's all it took was 30 years.
That's not true. So the last time I saw you, you were here when we just had acquired the lounge, and you you were doing the Greek gods with, oh my God.
With Estrella Taylor.
Thank you, Estrella Taylor.
We co-wrote that book and it had just come out. Right. Yep. And I promised you that you would be one of the few places that I went to in person. And a lot of that too, Estrella lives in Ohio.
She's
so I was going to fly out to Ohio to celebrate the launch of our book. But I had told you on the show that I would come to your store to do stuff. So that was great.
And it was lovely. And I loved having you here. And that class was incredible. The book is incredible. And just getting to hang out with you in person. Finally. Fantastic.
I mean, and I got to be there for 3 days, which was really nice.
I know.
And we got to go out a lot. And, it was nice to be back in the Midwest in October where you can still sit outside, but it's a little bit chilly and cold, which feels good.
We call it hoodie weather.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I love that shit. We don't really get that in California so much. So it was a really great trip. But you can see that there's this great community built around the store. And so many communities that don't have a store, you watch them struggle. Where I live, we do not have a witch store, and I live right next to the city of San Jose, which is 1 million people, and we don't have a witch store.
Where do you live currently right now?
Yes, I live just outside of that town. We have a metaphysical store that is scared of witches, and they have some witch stuff. But
take there.
Yes, I know, and it hurts and it breaks our hearts. And they have some witch stuff because it sells, but you can tell they're not necessarily comfortable with it. And it's not a place that the witch community gathers around. It was started by people who were part of a guru church, an Indian guru. So it leans more towards that sort of spirituality.
Okay.
But it does have like a little witch spot. And sometimes I see my books there. I live 3 miles away. It like hurts when a new book comes out and it's not there.
Oh my God.
But I get over it. I'm tough skin in this business.
You are. You're a tough cookie. I know that. Okay.
But really, it hurts that we don't have that store.
That's crazy. I can't. I was really. I'm surprised that there's any towns left that don't have one. Because it became sort of, I don't like to use the word trendy, but it became sort of the hot topic for a bit. I think that's dying a little bit.
I mean, I think it'll come back given the circumstances that we're in right now. Because I think
it built us a bigger base of actual true community members, practitioners. It opened up the exposure, but I feel like with the trend, it ebbs and flows, right?
It does. But I feel like when people need to be empowered, they discover witchcraft. And I think we're in an era where people need to be empowered. They need some control over their circumstances. And I think that control makes people gravitate to witchcraft. I think it did in 2016 when there was a change. I don't want to get all political, but that was some of it. And then, of course, again in COVID, and now we have this political change again, which has not been good for a lot of people. So I think that people are going to gravitate to the craft, and they need places to go where they can get witchcraft and they can get what they need, and they can talk to somebody who knows what they're doing. You know, there's a store an hour from us in Santa Cruz, which is a really great store, and one of our coven members works there. And
well, let's give a shout out to them. What's that called?
That, you know, they just changed their name, so it bothers me greatly that Moonkissed. Yes, it was called Serpent's Kiss for a long time, and then they changed locations.
Was Serpent's Kiss too scary?
I don't think so, but they had an older building, and it really suited the store because the building itself was just kind of mysterious. And then they moved to the main drag downtown, so it's less mysterious.
So wider audience, less scary name. Got you.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I get it.
That's Susan Diamond who owns that store, and she's a great bookstore owner. And then she owns another store in the city of, I think Los Gatos. But that's like 45 minutes from me. It's not like super close, you know. So it's.
So where do you get your consumables from? Where do you buy your incense and candles and such?
Thankfully, I travel so much that I get to go to tons of witch stores all around the country. So every time I go to a witch store, I always buy some stuff because that's what you do, right? You want to support the stores because you're there because there's a community there, and that community would not exist without the stores. So anytime I get to go to a witch store, I'm often really excited just to buy stuff.
Sweet. So you're like stock up.
Stock up, you know.
Okay.
And I've been doing this for 30 years, so I have a lot of stuff, you know, already.
Yeah, but we go through candles and we go through incense. That's
true.
It's just you know, it's a thing. Churches too. I mean, anybody who does a regular spiritual practice, you're going to go through these things. I have it in my calendar that if I ever need to send Najah anything, I have to send her candles because she goes through so many. It's just like, it's just candles. Okay, so tell us what you're working on. What's going on in Jason Mankey world? I know you do. I see your posts. You do so much. Tell me.
I travel a lot, but my October is very quiet, unlike Lilith Dorsey. This is like the first year, I think, where I don't have to go anywhere other than my wife and I are going on vacation for a little bit. Yeah.
A witch going on vacation in October?
What? Well, it's early October. We're leaving at the end of September, and we'll be there through early October.
Where are you going?
We're going to Orlando to go to Universal Studios. She has a work trip, so it kind of coincides, right? So it's easy to do it that way. But we're going to do all the new Dragon Riders of Burke rides because I'm a nerd, and those How to Train Your Dragon movies make me cry. Oh my God. My cat is toothless. So very, very excited.
Your cat's name is Toothless?
No, but she acts like toothless.
Oh, she is toothless. I got you.
She is toothless, right? Like those movies just make me cry because it reminds me of her so much. Like every time he's like, "Hey, bud," and I'm like, "Oh, my little kitty." You know, it's terrible. Like it's uncontrollable. It's really rough. So we're going to do that, and then I've got the local stuff in October, and then I'm doing an event in Vegas towards the end of November. So that's exciting.
What's that event?
You know, it's like I don't.
Oh shit! Wait. Oh shit! Sorry, I hit my keyboard. It's just bringing up shit. Sorry.
Yeah, like I don't remember the names of everything. I'm so unprepared tonight.
So,
Tiffany.
But is there a place that people can find? Do you have like a schedule of where you'll be at certain times?
I have a link tree, and I always put up what I'm doing in places.
And where do we find that?
If you just Google Jason Mankey, I'm one of 4 Jason Mankeys in the United States. And I come up and I dominate all the Google search. And if you go down far enough, you'll find a preacher, I think, in Indiana. And I feel bad for that guy. And yet I don't feel bad for that guy. You know?
Okay. All right. That's fucking funny as hell.
So there's that. So I'm super easy to find.
So
super easy.
Jason Mankey, the occult author, not Jason Mankey, the preacher.
Yes. And I think there's also one who's a dirt bike rider, and he sounds pretty cool too, though. right? Like, oh, you're a professional dirt bike rider. Okay. But I mean, he probably has fans who think, he moonlights as a witchcraft writer or something, though.
I mean, there could be lots of different things that you do, right? But it's funny that there are so many different Jason Mankey, like actual like people who like are doing something, which I think your name's not that common, so that's interesting.
No, it's not. And of course, people like to tell me my last name is the name of a Pokemon. There's a Pokemon called a Mankey.
I didn't
It's like
know
half like monkey and half rat, which I'm not really insulted by. I'm okay with that. Rats are ingenious in their way.
That's true. That's true. I mean, they're great problem solvers. That's the thing.
Yeah. And sometimes you can get merch with your name on it because of that. Like I got a T-shirt once that said "Mo Mankey, Mo Problems" with the Pokemon on it, and I was like, how do I not wear that shirt?
Oh, hell yes. Oh,
that's
100%
an amazing shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Sarah Mastro says, I really hope people who are looking for Jason Mankey the Preacher find you instead.
Oh, I hope so too. And I'm sure that they do. I'm sure he's like, and if you'd like to learn more about the Word of God, go to page 6 in your Google results, and there I will be, like, because he is so far down. so much.
But tell me, what's the last book that you did?
My last book was
There we go. There it is.
High Priest Raymond Buckland, the father of American witchcraft, which came out in May, which is why I made sure to watch Tony and Steven just a few minutes ago. And they were invaluable in writing this book. They just helped me so much, gave me access to things that I would not have had access to. And I felt like a big boy writer. Like, how many people get to say, I wrote a biography? Now I'm hanging out with my fellow writers, like, oh, I'm a writer too. I'm a writer. And I can go like, I'm a motherfucking biographer. How does that feel? Right?
All right. So on notable quotes, Jason Mankey says, I'm a motherfucking biographer. I want that.
I'll never write another one, but I did do my one, which makes me a motherfucking biographer, right?
All right. God damn it, my stupid keyboard. Okay. I think that on that note, I think we're out of time. So we're going to move on. But Jason, you're fucking
Tiffany,
amazing. And
you're so great. I love you.
To get to
I love you.
Yes,
anything I can do for you,
too.
always.
I will talk to you very soon. You have a wonderful evening. And again, feel free to stay on if you want. We're going to have this whole witch party afterwards when anybody's left, or even just come back.
I'll be back.
9:30 or so. All right.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, man.
All right. See y'all later.
Okay. Next we have Kobe Michael. Let's see. Is he here? He is here. All right. Now I need to figure out how to get him here. Okay. Ta-da! Kobe Michael. God damn, looking all sexy. Look at you.
Well, I'm kind of
That's hot.
Sporting the merch, yeah.
How are you, my friend?
Good. It's great to see you.
It's great to see you. You were here not that long ago.
Yeah, it feels like it's been 100 years, but it was literally like 2 months ago.
2 months? I think it was 2 months ago.
July.
What was the class called? Potions.
Poison Path Formulary. We did the flower essence blending.
That's the one. Yeah. It was so lovely to hear you and get to see you speak in person. I love it when you get a little bit personal because you get a little sassy. It's my absolute fucking favorite. And you very rarely break, but when you, as in like your professionalism, but when you do, it's my absolute favorite because you get a little devilish.
Yeah, I definitely have that rebellious side.
That's the one. Where are you now? I know that you're all over the place. Where are you now?
Currently, I am outside of Orlando at a campground doing the Phoenix Fire Festival. So broadcasting from my little dormitory bedroom.
That's awesome. Are you presenting there?
Yeah, I'll be doing a ritual that's called Descent into Hell, working with Henbane, and then I'm doing a workshop called the Poison, Plants, and the Tarot.
Fuck yeah, Descent into Hell. I'm sorry, I didn't listen to the rest of it. I'm just kidding. I did. But you had me at Descent into Hell.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
a lot of fans. Jason Mankey, who was just here, says Kobe, and Amy Blackthorn says hot.
Oh, hi
And also,
guys.
Sassy Kobe is my favorite. Mine too. Okay, so tell me about a witch store.
Oh, there are so many. So I grew up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and my grandma used to take me to the mall all the time, and it wasn't even like a witch store. It was called Nature's Wonders, and it was more like a science, crystals, like they had a lot of, geology related things, but that was really kind of like my first, I guess, gateway drug into the metaphysical realm was like the crystal store, and I was obsessed with going there. We went all of the time. Um, so that was like very, very early days. And then there was another one in the mall called Earth Magic that was a little bit more like new age magical kind of thing. But I guess like the first technically like witchy metaphysical store would have been the Catalpa Tree shop in Grable. If you're not
Oh,
familiar with the
what was it called?
geography, the
Nope.
Catalpa Tree.
Okay, what's that?
It was this house that they had like repurposed into a metaphysical shop. So it was like all of these different little rooms that you would just like wander through. They
Oh, I
had
love
the
that.
the book room, the crystal room, the herb room, and you'd be like going upstairs and in all of these little cubby holes. And, it was just like a super magical vibe. I'm assuming that it is still open because even when I started going there, I think it had been there for like 20, 30 years, which was kind of random for Grable, Indiana, because that's very much like an Amish town. So
Mhm.
to have like this long-standing metaphysical shop there that everybody knew about was kind of an odd combination.
That is
Um,
fascinating. I mean, I'm curious to know
mhm.
what the origin of that is because yeah, Indiana, you don't think deep witch roots, but just because I don't know any better. Catalpa tree?
Catalpa tree,
I
yeah,
did it. Yes.
yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, hell yeah. Um, and so, how old were you then?
When I started going to Catalpa tree, I was probably like late teens.
Okay,
Yeah, that was
okay.
one of the first ones. There was another one that's not open anymore. It was called the Elderberry Treehouse Shop.
What? That's a
Um,
beautiful name. Oh, I love that. The Elderberry Treehouse Shop. Oh, okay.
yeah, it was run by this awesome lady named Diane. It's where I did one of my very, very, very first ever classes back in 2016. I did a class on the history of the witch's flying ointment. I did that
Mm-hmm.
there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they've always been just like safe spaces. Um, I don't know, you just kind of like get this sensory high when you walk into these shops, like all of the pretty things to look at, the smells, the books.
And also this feeling of like calm safety, right? That it's
Yeah,
okay
yeah, for
here.
sure.
It's okay here to be. It's okay here to kind of explore and just be, and not you don't have to. I don't know, feel judged or watch your back or anything. If that makes
Yeah,
sense.
absolutely.
So, what are shops that you go to now?
Well, I'm lucky enough to go to a lot of them, in my travels. There's Arts and Crafts in Hartford, Michigan. That's a really awesome one. Paul is another poison plant fanatic, so we always kind of nerd out about the poisonous plants. Did one of my very early classes there as well. Um, Currently, so since I live in Florida now, um, it was like a much different, I guess, like climate moving down there, and that there weren't really a lot of like witchcraft shops. They were all more like, the pretty crystal new age girlies, just kind of like
Like
meditate
new
and
age
vibe
shops.
out. Yeah, new age shops. But we just had a new one open. I think they just had their year anniversary this past March that's called Spellcrafter. It's right down the street from my house, and
Oh,
yeah, so absolutely amazing. Probably one of the best book selections
uh,
that I've seen in that part of the country. So the that's something that really gets me off is having like a really good book selection.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So I go there. My friend Anthony, who is pretty badass tarot reader, medium, works there. Yeah, so it's nice to kind of get like a sense of community, because when I first moved down to Florida, it really wasn't there. It was just kind of like me floating around in this totally unfamiliar place and not really having like a central hub. So they've kind
Anytime
of
you go to a new
become
place,
that.
you don't have that anchor anymore, right? And you gotta sort of like figure out where you want to put down some anchors, which
um,
is not easy. So Betty Ann brings up a point. So Betty Ann, oh damn it, stupid thing. Stop. Sorry, Kristen. But Betty Ann she's a good friend of mine, and she works at a local nursery, and she just brought me a new plant. It's called a bed of nails. Have you heard of this?
No, but it sounds amazing.
It's amazing. It's so cool. It has like the leaves have spikes that come out, the leaves on top and on bottom, and spikes that come out of
Okay.
every stem, every stalk, and it
Oh,
it flowers and it gives us a fruit that is called the macabre tomato.
really?
You
What
can make
that?
like preserves. It's a nightshade. Um,
Yeah.
but I posted pictures of it the other day. So if you go to my personal Facebook, you can see some pictures. I took a picture of the new blossom, and there's
Hmm.
pictures of the leaves. And they are poinky little babies. It's
Yeah.
just
Does it have
like
like purple stems? Like
I,
dark
I will
purplish
literally go
red?
get it. I will literally go get the plant.
Okay, because it sounds a lot like Solanum atropurpureum, which
It
I
is a
know like.
solanum, I think. Betty Ann, help me out here. I'm literally gonna go get it. I'll be right back.
All right.
Talk amongst yourselves. Just kidding. Kobe, tell them a
Yeah,
story.
it's probably like super closely related to the Solanum atropurpureum, which is commonly known as malevolence, or 5-minute plant. So the entire thing is like completely covered in thorns, all of the stems, all of the leaves, and then it does get like little golden fruits on it. So I just kind of, it's like a really angry tomato plant, basically.
Look at the poinkies.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
that's
then
it's
this
not
is
the
the
same one,
flower.
but
There's a flower, and there's another one that's coming too. There's a couple of flowers that are about to blossom.
that is really cool.
Isn't it beautiful? And yeah, it is like spikies on top and bottom of every leaf and on the actual stalks too. Ow. See, just trying to get some very pointy. But yeah, it's a bed of nails. And for those of you who are local, you can get this at Hoover Gardens.
Oh,
I know. Yeah,
very cool. Nightshades are amazing.
Solanum is what it says. Yeah, I love it so much. Yeah, Betty always brings me some crazy cool stuff. One of the people who works there was just like, I'm going to grow this plant and see if we can sell it. And I hope I'm selling them a bunch because they're so freaking cool. All right, I'm gonna close my door real quick because I don't want my dogs going everywhere.
Yeah, we
Sorry.
need to bring back like the Victorian grotesque gardens where like
Yes.
all of the plants are, dark, sinister
Get this baby up
colors
here.
covered in thorns.
Yeah, this planted anywhere outside your house would definitely keep anyone from coming anywhere near it.
Yeah, for
Love it.
sure. And like energetically too, like the nightshades that aren't necessarily like toxic internally, but are, physically dangerous, being covered in thorns are really good for ferocious boundary setting, like when you really
Yes.
need to tell people to like fuck off.
Yes, they are. Yeah, so this is yeah. I love it so much. But yeah, you have to be really careful touching it. Even just trying to show you the poinkies, I literally got stabbed just now.
We'll plant offering.
I know. I'm not mad about it. Okay, so I think we have like a minute left. Tell me
Oh,
what's
wow.
going on. You have a new book out, yeah?
The Poison Path Grimoire came out in November, so that's the newest one, and I just basically signed off on what will be the third in the Poison Path series. It's called the Poison Path Oracle.
I didn't know there was a third already.
Yes.
Hell yes. Okay.
That one will be out in like April, May, so it'll definitely hit you up to do like a little book launch when you're in the new
Oh.
location.
Absolutely. And by that time, we will be set up for that.
I'm so excited.
Absolutely. I'm so excited too. All right, I'm going to let you get back to whatever you're doing in your dorm there.
Gonna head back out to the bonfire.
Yay! Go have fun. Thank you for taking some time to hang out with us. And I can't wait to see you again. You have a wonderful
Yeah,
evening.
likewise. Pleasure. See you later.
Everybody say bye to Kobe. Okay. And I am pretty sure, once again, I have to check the thing. I thought so. Laura Tempest Zacroft. Ta-da! Hey, welcome.
Oh, hey, there we go. Volume helps.
Welcome to the show. I am so proud of us. We are staying on schedule in a whole way. Like, this is incredible. We are
doing the thing. It's amazing.
It is. I'm making a schedule and sticking to it is not my strong suit. So this is amazing. Hey, welcome. And it's nice to see you. It's been so long.
I know. Like, I was trying to think like the last time. Like, it's been a minute.
When you came to the shop last, I didn't even get to see you. I don't remember where I was, but it was something I for some reason, could not push off. But I want you to know that the sigil that you created for us is still there on display on that whiteboard still. Like, nobody's erased it. It's actually just on an easel now, and it's just become a part of the store.
Oh, I love that. Like, I was trying to think back because it was, I think you had a wedding.
Oh, that sounds right. Yeah, it was something
over COVID, I think, too. Like,
it was something that I just like could not go to, and it made me absolutely insane because I really, really, really wanted to see you in person and to hang out with you. But so far, we still haven't gotten to do that. But it will happen. It will
happen. And like, it's feeling like next year might be the year to do a little bit more touring again to like get back out into the world and visit all the wonderful metaphysical shops out there.
You'll have to come see our new location.
I can't wait.
I can't wait either. There was something I was gonna. Oh, fuck my brain. Oh yeah, but for anybody who has come to WitchLab in the past 2 years, I forget when you were there, but anybody who's come to WitchLab shop and you've seen that whiteboard that's in the very back near the herbs on the easel, and you've been like, what is that? This is the woman who created it in person in the shop. How cool is that?
Yay. Take a photo of it and move it into the new space and paint it on the wall.
I've taken so many photos of it just to make sure we don't lose it because it's still literally on a whiteboard.
It's amazing.
But we will paint it on the wall because but having the energy of you actually touching it and having made it is something we didn't want to lose. And and some people are like, whoa, so many other people have taken pictures of it. So it will live forever in so many ways. So tell me about your favorite witch shop, or at least the first witch shop, or one that made a difference to you.
I was trying to think back, like, what was the first witch shop? And I was a teenager in South Carolina. So I think, a few folks have mentioned, like, when you were growing up and you had the sort of the crystal shop, or there was an indigenous shop. That was where I got my first sage, back. It was the 90s, y'all.
Yeah. An indigenous shop is a great place to get sage, right? Is giving them money for sage, which is lovely.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure my parents thought I was smoking pot. So I'm like, what's going on up here? I'm like, ooh, I've got flute. And my, flute music was very, very, it was very 90s. But when I moved to Rhode Island to go to the Rhode Island School of Design, there was Estes on Thayer Street, and that's where a friend did readings. That's where we had like our first belly dance show outside of, so that was pretty cool. Alas, gentrification happened and they took out a lot of the cool buildings. Then there was also the Silver Dragon. And I think a lot of people in New England are familiar with it. It was in malls. but it was independent store in malls, and that's where I first did readings, as like on Friday nights in in the Rhode Island Mall, which is totally, well, now it's, I don't know, an at-home store. They changed the but
As things happen in malls, you know, shit moves around.
yeah, it's a different time. Things change.
Yeah.
And locally now we have an excellent shop, the Veiled Crow, which has amazing incense. Got to take Jason there a few weeks ago when Jason was in town. And they just moved into a new space. And that's the thing. It's really hard to find good spaces for witch shops. As you're like, yes. Like, I feel your pain so much. Like trying to I think I found a place for us to rent, you know, like looking at the different locations. But you know, I just remember though, like when it was a witchlet, is as soon as I had a car, I'd be like, all right, I'm going to this part of Massachusetts because I could hit 3 stores, you know, and go to every single store.
We call that a witch district.
Right?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. You like go drive 2 hours, you know, to go to, you know, and I was in college student, so it was totally broke, but I'd be like, I will still buy a stick of incense or whatever it was, because there was still you have, you know, support the store no matter what. So I could think about so many of those shops are no longer with us. But you know, the experience is there. That's why it's important, y'all, to support your local shops.
It is. And don't be afraid to go to them. Go talk to them. Go hang out with them. Go, you know, go buy, but also buy.
Go buy. Thank you.
Yeah, but also buy. Some people have some things to say to you, which is Tempest is my favorite human in Witchlet. Yes.
I don't know Nova. Nova's awesome.
Nova is awesome. Nova is one of our local witches, and they are fan-fucking-tastic. And Tom Hess says, Rizdy!
Yay! Thanks, Tom. We're the little weird state. Rhode Island is the Gen X of the states. Everyone forgets we exist. So it's good to be appreciated.
Okay, so and what was the shop you said that you go to now? It had a great name.
The Veiled Crow.
Veiled Crow.
Yep, it's right outside of Providence in Cranston.
I love that. Okay, and so tell me, what is Laura Tempest Sakharov working on right now?
Oh.
I love that sigh.
So much. Well, the last thing that came out was the Sigil Witchery Oracle. It just showed up in my feed. It was like, oh, the first sample came a year ago. Yay, and now it's on the world. But the things that are about to come out is I work with Dodie Graham McKay on the Witch's Ally Oracle. So that will be out like the beginning of the year, early end of the year, depending on pretending. Yes, we must pretend. Depending on the printing gods. Words are hard.
That was a weird slip. Pretending, huh?
Pretending.
No, it's real. It's real.
Yeah, it's real. It's real. They're coming. We'll hold it. It'll be fantastic. And immediately followed by my first book on the tarot, which is Tarot by Tempest. Yeah, that's my whole the tarot that people have been asking for. I wrote a book. So
Tarot by Tempest. So what's your favorite tarot card? Like, what's the card that, okay, like, let's say you get a deck, somebody hands you a deck you've never seen before. What's the top 3 cards that you go looking for?
The star card.
What's that?
The star.
The star. Really?
Yes. It's one of my favorites. I love the star card. It's about inspiration and hope. And I'm a hope punk.
I've never heard anyone give that answer. I designed a whole perfume on the star. I love it. I think it's one of my absolute fucking favorite cards. I think it was one of the hardest cards for me to grasp the understanding of. And when I did, I was all in on it. Like, oh, when all you have left is what you have.
Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of the moment, like we've been talking about the tower times for the last 10 years. And like, what's after the tower card?
It's the star.
The star.
We're actually doing a ritual at the shop for Equinox, and it's the Mudman, Mabon Mudman that we're doing. And there's this part. Oh, I don't want to give it away, but I have to drone on a little bit just to. But what I'm going to talk about is how the tower leads into the star. And at some point I get like rudely interrupted as part of the ritual, but it's going to be really funny. But I was just like, no, I just want to talk about this one part because it makes me so fucking happy. And usually when I start talking about it, people kind of like, so it's the perfect part to get interrupted on. But I love the fucking star card. It's one of my absolute favorites. Okay, so that's number one. What's your second card?
High Priestess.
Okay. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And your third?
Oh, that's a tough one. Then we get to the next level of who.
Then there's like three in that level, right? Like
yeah, you're just like, oh, which one of these jerks do I want to see? But I think I like to see what the devil card looks like.
Same. Big fan of that. Yep. Okay, so star, again, that's a super surpriser for me. I think the star is a sleeper card for a lot of people, but I fucking love it. It's one of my favorites. I think that hope is the most important thing that we have.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. That's how the Sandman beats the devil, right? Hope. For any of you dorks who are watching Sandman.
Joy.
Yeah, complete joy, right? And then the High Priestess makes so much sense to me because as readers, it's how we sort of see ourselves. And the person who's designing a deck, how do you see the High Priestess is a big fucking question.
Yeah.
And then everybody wants to know what the devil looks like. So it really gets into like where is this designer and where are they coming from, which I think is fucking lovely.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm trying to see what I want to keep on schedule. So where we at? Let's see. You and I. Oh, we still got time. We still got 3 minutes, Laura. Okay. Okay. All right. So we've already talked about what's coming out next.
The things that are coming up. I'm going to be at EventWise. Anahata's Purpose is the next event, which I'm excited. It's at a new location this year in Maryland, and I think that's October 15th to the 19th ish. I just got back from being in Santa Fe, so my brain is still out somewhere in the high desert.
It's totally understandable. I feel like everybody is traveling, and it's a little bit crazy for everybody. But what a great time to start promoing because so many people are doing things this coming month because it is our big month. I mean, for most of us, evidently Jason's taking a vacation.
I mean, we can't all be Jason Mankey.
I'm so happy for him, though. It's so rare to hear one of us go, "Oh no, I'm just taking October off."
It's fine.
Fuck yeah, dude. Take October off. That's amazing. Go enjoy the leaves changing. I don't know if that happens in California where he is, but
it becomes wet. That's what happens in California.
Yeah. Enjoy that time. Whatever happens in October in California, his part of the world, which all I can remember is near San Jose. So yeah, enjoy that.
The wet season. So yeah, that's like I think one of the last big in-person events. Though I host the Witches Night Out Market here in Rhode Island, so we have that. That is October 20th. Shit.
25th is a Saturday. I can tell you that.
I think it's the 25th. It's a Friday night. What is time? How are we here, right? How are we in September already? Yep, the 24th. So the 24th, and then that same weekend is the Gathering of the Witches online. So I'm doing that too. So
that's right. I saw promos for that. That's very cool. Where can that be found? Like, is there?
So I have everything on my website. So if you go to lauratempestzakroff.com, if you can't spell my last name, even though it's right there, Google will get you there.
Right there.
It's right there. I know people love to add extra letters in there and
somebody actually said let's see, we've got so Betty Ann was referring to the mud man. We've decided to call them the mud them. They're a mud them now, which is lovely. We're making a mud them. And then also rebellions are built on hope. 100% banish. Wait, nope. God darn it. Banish the tower, invoke the star. Yes, banish the tower, invoke the star. I feel like should be a mantra for everybody right now, right? Banish the tower, invoke the star. Yeah. What's the date? October 20. Shit. And Nova has given us your website. Thank you, Nova. She is your favorite in Witchlet, right? So
they are awesome. They do, yeah, they are fantastic for links. Nova, you get a gold star for putting the links in there.
Thank you so much for being here, Laura. You are fucking amazing. And I wish you a wonderful witchy season. I hope that your October is fan-fucking-tastic and filled with lots of changing leaves, because up in Rhode Island, you get to see all of that.
All the leaves. Well, may everything go smoothly. Let me know if you need anything. But like, this is going to be awesome. This is the star part, right? You've had the tower moment, but this is going to be like, this space is awesome. Life is so much easier. Success is just oozing out of every crevice.
I feel like right now the star card is the only thing giving me life right now, right? Because it's like end of the tunnel, you just got to see it. It's right there. It's like a pinhole.
It's coming. Just have some wine in the meantime. We'll be fine.
It's gonna be fine. Yeah. I'm just gonna some 4 roses and some lots of deep breathing. If you haven't been meditating yet, you should be. Right?
Meditating or medicating, whatever works better.
I'm doing all of the above. I'm doing everything I possibly can. I'm covering all of my bases, I promise. Thank you so much for being here. And I will talk to you very soon. I love you. Have a wonderful evening. And again, if you can hang out, we're going to do this whole witch thing around, looks like maybe 9:30-ish. Because again, we're on schedule. What? You have a great night. Thank you so much. Okay. And next we've got, are you guys ready? Are you ready? Is she here? Is she here? She is here. Amy Blackthorn. Yay! Amy Blackthorn holds, I believe, the highest numbers of visits on WitchLab Wednesday Live. I believe you are top of. I think you at this point you've absolutely surpassed everybody else, because you may have been neck and neck with somebody, but now 100%. What is it? It's like Tom Hanks on SNL. You are that now.
Yep.
And also, I think you also hold the title of most in-person appearances at WitchLab.
Yeah.
Amy Blackthorn. Could we be more lucky? No, we can't. Thank you so much for being here, baby. It's good to see you.
I miss your whole face.
I miss your whole face too. And thank you for all your support through all of this. You've been so sweet and so encouraging and so present and in contact. And even if I don't answer you.
Hey, I will come to Columbus. I will cut all the bitches. It will be great.
You hear that, bitches? Amy Blackthorn will come for you. They should all be scared. This is how we all feel. Amy! So, okay, let's get down to the meat of it. Give me a witch story.
Oh my God.
I know, right? I know it's a crazy question, but I know you've got some good stuff there.
Oh my goodness. So my first witchy shop was actually called Bell Book and Candle in Baltimore City, just on the border of the county. And oh my goodness, my first high priestess owned the store. And so the store really existed to supplement the coven, give us a place to meet. We had open rituals and closed rituals like every other. Oh my goodness. And it was really incredible to be able, I mean, I was a teenager and I walked in and my whole face melted like at the end of Indiana Jones. I was just so excited. I had the utter pleasure to meet so many ridiculously famous authors that I just, my 18-year-old heart went, oh my God, how did I get this lucky? Because I came out of the broom closet, told my mom, hey, here you go. And her best friend, it turned out, was also a witch. So I'd go away for the weekend and we'd have witchy visits while my parents had their own married people time. And it was really fantastic to actually have somebody who was not only my new witchy friend, but she had a car, we could go do things.
That's fucking sweet, right?
Because at that point, I had only seen the cute new age shops in the malls with the Enya playing in the background and rocks priced 4 times their actual value.
Right, like tropical trends kind of thing is what we have here. Yeah.
But I was really upset when it finally closed, and I didn't think I'd ever have that again until the day I walked into Mystical Voyage in White Marsh.
Say the name again.
Mystical Voyage.
Mystical Voyage.
Lori Purdue is the woman who birthed this incredible, amazing place for people to come together. And it had, by the time it closed, there was not just the original shop space, there was the coffee shop adjacent. And on the other side, we had practitioner spaces for rent. We had apothecary friends, we had acupuncture, we had individual rooms for people to give tarot readings in. There was 3 or 4 different rooms just for tarot readers. There was a practitioner who was a psychologist who had his office in there. We had
that's amazing. Everything from an apothecary all the way to a psychologist
and a yoga studio. Like it was just one. It was by the end it almost took up the whole strip in this strip mall. I was over the moon. So that's had
fantastic.
You could rent out the yoga studio and teach classes in a huge space that was goodness. I couldn't even say 40 by 30.
That's huge. Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah.
Just massive. For rituals, it was perfect. For classes, it was incredible.
It is.
They even had the rainbow colored windows. So you could align your chakras depending on what you needed to work with. Oh, it was just one of the most beautiful, touching places in the history of ever. And not only is Lori everybody's mom, but she was my mom, you know?
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, one day my mother had shown up for one of the large events that were happening, and my mother decided to give me a hard time in front of Lori.
How'd that go?
Oh, that did not go well for my mother.
Good.
We are tall people. My father is 6'8", my mother is 5'11", I suppose. And Lori is just the most petite, powerful person I've ever met. And she stepped in between my mother and I, and she said, "Look, that's my Amy. And if you don't like it, you're welcome to leave. But you cannot talk to her like that." And even now, I get teary.
Good mom.
That's a good mom. She's there. I lose words. When authors lose words, like this is a lot of incredible feeling. I taught it wasn't where I taught my first classes. That was obviously Bell Like a Candle, but the classes that I was able to offer had the depth and warmth that could not be felt in Bell Book and Candle. And every single person who walked into that door was the luckiest human on the face of the earth. And we had from 2006 to Samhain of 2010. And I will never, ever forget the love that I felt in that space.
That's amazing. That's lovely. And I love that you experienced that and you got to hold that with you. And you carry that with you today. It gives you strength. Having experienced that. What's that?
Judika had such a lovely thing. I was trying to explain it to her, and she said, because we talk about thought forms, we talk about egregore, I really feel like those spaces still exist somewhere. The thought form of Mystical Voyage still exists somewhere, and we can still visit that. And I was so thankful for that, because there are days where I definitely feel like that was peak. That was just the peak of community right there. We had open mic nights and karaoke times and game nights and bingo and knit witches, and the coffee shop itself was a little bit bigger than the regular shop itself. So you could get a cup of chocolate goo. You could go and sit and talk with people who you love.
Chocolate goo.
And it was a viable third space.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We don't have enough of those as pagans, much less as a communities.
I couldn't agree more. And it's the reason that I want to keep it open. Because we have karaoke and we have open mic and we have these things. And there's people every day who thank me for having it because they felt welcome, they felt safe, and they felt seen.
I was a teenager in Podunk County, away from still part of Maryland, but it was so far that the National Weather Service doesn't even claim that part of the state.
I don't exist.
So getting to the point where I found a place where I felt welcome and understood and seen after experiencing death threats and attempted stoning and all these really hateful experiences, to go into a place where you're not only not alone, but you are welcome and you are loved and you are seen, is absolutely the best thing. My mother bought my first athame at Belkin Candle.
That's lovely.
It was a little cat. It was a little pewter athame about this big. It was just very sleek, and it just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And the fact that my mother, who did not know for the longest time that I was a witch, screwed up the courage to go in Belkin Candle and say, okay, what can I get my 15-year-old daughter for Christmas? Because she definitely tried that. Oh, well, if you're a witch now, you don't need Christmas presents. So like, let me tell you about Yule.
Yeah, no, fuck that bullshit.
Internet.
Let me tell you about Yule. No, we still have a holiday, okay, and there's presents involved, because I've decided that that's real. 100% we have presents involved in Yule.
Yes. Oh, Melissa says we love our witch moms.
We do. We do
absolutely
love
do.
our witch moms.
Mel is one of my witch mom friends. Like she's always there for every single person in her life and is able to show up in such a loving and kind way. You know, our society starts to talk about, well, you're just the mom friend. Like, no. The people who nurture people in our community, whether they have biological children or not, are absolutely they're the backbone of our community.
They are. People who actually take the time to fucking care is what's hard to find. Right.
Yeah.
They're not in it for the money. They're in it for the nurturing, just because they want to give to other people and they want people to feel fucking safe. This is the thing that I want most, is people to feel safe and to feel accepted and to feel part of something. You're accepted here. We have because now listening to the like list of things that the one shop turned into, right? The whole street. I just opened a bar.
It's not though. You're cutting yourself short, because WitchLab Lounge is not just a bar. It is the extension of WitchLab, because when I don't go to bars, because I am the person who is going to. I am the oak in this bar. I'm the person you can stand near. If someone's bothering you, I can have a conversation with them. We can work things out. That's why I worked as a bouncer for so long. I'm 6 feet tall. You can come and stand near me and that's no longer a problem. But I can't do that in a regular bar. I'm just so vigilant about the security of others. I can't take that off. Mm-hmm. But in WitchLab Lounge, I have never felt that way. Every person is watching my back. I can make sure that everyone else is being safe, but it does not trigger that part of my brain that says everything is a threat. This is a safe place. And you can't get that from traditional lounges.
Thank you. Thank you for that. I truly feel like my regulars at the bar, they have become part of my family. And I know that people use the word family to be manipulative in business and whatnot, but I honestly feel that my staff, I know that's a horrible thing to say because people can use it manipulatively, but I do love my staff as if they're family. I really do. Even the ones who don't work for me anymore, they're still part of my family. And the regulars who come in, they don't have to buy anything. They can just come and sit and hang out. They are part of it. And there are so many who come, and because they're there so much, they help. They help us move stuff. We need to move stuff, and they help us set up for things. You know, they're like, they're part of the community on a regular basis, literally almost every day. And it's funny because the ones who do come every day, they actually don't even drink because we serve hot tea at WitchLab Lounge, and you can get just that, and that's what they drink. But they come to literally sit and hang out with us because my bartenders are amazing. They're so fucking sweet. And my other patrons are amazing. And the weird ass shit that I have going on there every night is crazy. You never know what you're going to get. it's a whole mixed bag, man.
It shows.
But so many shows, so many crazy shows.
It shows how much you value your people. When I came in and did the class on Blackthorn's Botanical Brews, and you didn't have stools yet because it wasn't officially a room, and every single person who came in just stood next to the bar very patiently, like waiting for their time to have your face. It was not about the room. It was not about the drinks or even my class. It was the people who come to that space just to get a sparkle of your attention for a moment. They will stand there all day because you absolutely let these people know how cherished they are, and they may not get that anywhere else.
And they're fucking cherished. Thanks for using that word. I love that fucking word. Yes, they are. They're important and they're cherished, and their presence is important. I think that people are so afraid of that word because they think that giving someone importance gives them somehow power over them, but it doesn't. Every person has the right to feel important. Feeling important is a need that we have psychologically, like emotionally, we have that need, and it's not a pride thing or a vanity thing, or like it's not like that. It's that feeling important means you belong somewhere, that people want and need to see you, and that you are appreciated, that you're important. It's a beautiful word. I think it gets used wrong a lot, but I love it. And you're important to me.
I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Like I go out and I tell other people, my friend Tiffany is just, she's the bee's knees. Like, I want to carry you in my little pocket right here.
And I would totally hang out in your little pocket. Okay. What time is it? Where are we at? Okay. I think that we've gone over a little bit, but I believe Evo is next, and Evo is a very sweet, patient man. He'll give us enough time for you to tell us what's going on in Amy Blackthorn world. What are you working on? Give us some promos.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited for you to see this because this book almost killed me. The next book, the next release is Blackthorn's Botanical Shadow Work, Healing Through the Dark with Plant Magic. And so instead of you should do the shadow work face, when everyone would hear that I was working on a book on shadow work, they'd say, "Oh my gosh, it's so scary. I can't. Okay.
Worst roller coaster ever.
Worst. No one had signed up for this. I had to make something to take my voice. The vibe that people say they get from my books is that we're sitting down to tea together and I'm explaining how things work.
Yep.
So shadow work is me taking you by the hand, and I'm going to go with you. I'm going to introduce you to people who will help you understand what shadow work is, how to do it, and so that you feel safe and nurtured and cared for and supported. So the first half of every chapter is, whatever the subject matter is. And then the second half is, guess what? We're going to go for a walk, and we're going to meet Corpse Flower, or we're going to go meet Hellebore. And then we're going to introduce you to see what they can help you accomplish. So you can ask, Corpse Flower will ask you what has come time to die, what needs to be let go, what no longer suits you. And they'll carry you, work with you, and support you while you figure out what that is. And so by the time you've gone through the whole book, you've met, probably 30 different botanical species who are now going to be your allies, along with the allies who are taking you on these journeys. So not only are you practicing, working on your shadow work, you're practicing your journey work, you're practicing these really important witchcraft skills, but at the end, you get a whole bevy of allies who wants to help you with your work. Even when you're not shadow working today, maybe that's for tomorrow. You have allies who you can ask for help. The spirits of these plants want to help us. They want to reach out. They want to have a relationship with people. And if that means that you guys get to hang out and talk for a couple minutes every week, that's great. But if it tells you that just because they're plants doesn't mean it has to be scary, all the better. So next summer, August 2026, Botanical Shadow Work will be out. It is up for pre-order right now, everywhere you buy books. I am really excited. It was very early for the pre-order. I'm so glad the beautiful people at Wiser could get that up and ready early. I had a big show last month, and I really wanted to make sure they had the opportunity to see this. So Blackthorn's Botanical Shadow Work, Healing Through the Dark with Plant Magic is coming in 2026.
And you will be coming to WitchLab to do maybe a little signing or something then, yeah?
Yes, I would go there. I would drive out today.
Yeah, I need help with moving, Amy. Get out here. Yeah. I love you so much. I'm gonna bring Evo on, but God, I can never spend enough time with you. You know that. Hang out if you want. After we're done, I have Evo, and then I have Jason Miller, and then whoever is left up in this thing where I've got a bunch of people sitting back here and backstage just watching the show. I'm bringing all of you bitches back on. Witches, sorry, and bitches. Okay. I love you, Amy. I'll see you in a bit. Thank you so much.
Of course.
All right, everybody, ready for Evo Dominguez Jr. Yay!
Yay!
Hey,
Hey,
baby,
honey.
it's been so long.
Way too long. Way too long. I'm really happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. Evo is one of those people that when I get to be in his presence, everything feels calmer and just at peace and lovely. Yeah. And as Jason says, he always has the best shirts. And that's absolutely true. You always look fucking fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome, my friend. It's so good to see you.
And I'm just happy that the community is coming around and helping.
My community, not only my local community, but you guys have come together in such a beautiful fucking way. And really, again, Tony, I blame Tony. Dang old Tony Rotunda, man. She made all this happen, and I couldn't be more grateful and appreciative of her. I think she reached out to you, didn't she?
Oh, absolutely.
She did, yeah. I think she was just frantic, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna reach out to people too. I think I reached out to like 3 people, but like she was like, okay, yeah.
Yep.
So Evo, tell me about. I know you owned a witch shop, but before twice.
Actually,
but before you did that, were there any that gave you a little boost up?
So I'm gonna not get in trouble because the 2 that I have 2 to offer, and both of them are closed.
Most of the ones we're going to talk about are, unfortunately.
So once upon a time, it was 1983, and I was in New York City for a conference.
Okay.
Not a magical conference. It was a conference for people that were volunteers or organizers for hotlines.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh my God, I'm in New York, and I'm gonna do it. So I managed to sneak away from the conference, and I got to the Wiser Antiquarian Bookstore. Ooh.
The original Wiser store in New York?
Yes. And the same weekend, I also got away and got myself to the Magical Child while it was still there.
I love the Magical Child gets too. I know that the guy was whatever, but
it's a complicated and fraught history. But
here we go. That's what I'm trying to say.
but everybody's been telling me about them since I was a young pup attending witch things back in the 70s, and I said, I'm in New York. There's no way I am not showing up, and they were both as magical as I expected. Now, I have been to many other stores afterwards where there was a better sense of community, a better vibe, a living connection to local community, all those things which are so vital for our shops. I'm surprised my dogs aren't making any noise.
I'm surprised they've been good this long.
Right. But when I was in the Wiser store, I don't think I had ever, I mean, I always loved books, but there was like an energy in that space because of all these ancient to my, especially at that age, for me, ancient tomes that carried so much amazing stuff. And, I broke the budget a little bit, but I bought some things there. And then completely different energy. And I'll tell you what I loved about The Magical Child. There was absolutely no mistaking that I had stepped into a space where there were people who lived, breathed, thought themselves as witches every second of every moment. Which was not true at the very wonderful and scholarly Weiser's shop, but those left a mark on me. And I will say that it was in '84, beginning late '83, early '84 is when I opened my first shop in Wilmington, Delaware, called Hen's Teeth, for as scarce as hen's teeth. And it was an alternative store. It was all the gay stuff. It was all the magical stuff. It was all the environmental stuff. It was all the women's issues. And it became a little community center of sorts. So I think that what you're doing and making the choice to not give in. And I was listening, and yes, we are needing the star energy because, hope just means that you believe change is possible and you're changing things from one condition to another. That's all that's happening. And I have absolutely no doubt that this will all work out for you and that the community will continue to congregate in the amazing spaces that you created and will create.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sure of it.
Your support means the world to me. You have done so much for me. You have done so much for WitchLab, and you came out and did the dark market on a shoestring budget, and you were amazing. And just getting to introduce you in person to my community and getting people to understand what being in the presence of Evo is like, I think gave me a lot of cred, honestly. So that was nice.
Well, I was originally drawn to you, but because I was guided.
And I will never forget you telling me that. That has made me feel incredibly cool for years. Evo Domingo was guided. Evo Dominguez Jr. was guided.
The first visit, it was like, well, I was listening. It's like, where am I supposed to be? And it's like, I'm supposed to go there.
See, guys, you see. Yes, and I can't be more grateful to you. And every time I get to see you, it's lovely. In person is so much better because I got to tell you guys, if you've not been around Evo in person, there is something that he exudes this vibe, this energy, this something that just envelops you and makes you feel like everything's all right, man. Everything's gonna be all right. So having you here is hugely important to me, and I'm so grateful to you for so many things. Not only for being here, but just for being who you are and what you have given to the community over all of these years. You continue to be one of my favorite teachers, one of my favorite people to interview, and just one of my favorite people to have fucking dinner with. Say that. Okay, so so you owned Hen's Teeth. What was the other one? You owned two.
Interestingly enough, another store in Dover, Delaware, that was called Bell Book and Candle.
But not the same as Amy's.
Different. I mean, there've been a bazillion.
She's from Delaware too.
Yeah, she's in Delaware, but this was in Dover, Delaware, and her Bell Book and Candle was in Maryland.
Okay. Oh, right. Okay.
So what happened was, I had Jim and I had Hen's Teeth for quite a number of years, and it was awesome. And actually, what killed that store was the AIDS epidemic, because Jim and I couldn't do everything. And I ended up being the first executive director for the AIDS service organization. Jim went to work for public health. We couldn't do the store and that work. So we had to pick.
And that work was so very important. And
the second time, I got called by the two women that owned and had started Bell Book and Candle in Dover, and basically said, "We're burnt out. Can you buy the store from us?"
Oh.
And because they knew our vulnerable spot, and it was kind of like, we don't want the community to not have a shop and
right.
to not have a place.
Right.
And we said, okay, two things: give us a year to get the money together, because you want us to buy the business, and ultimately the building as well, because they own the building.
Man,
I know. I know.
do it.
And that's the thing I really wanted to do, because honestly, landlords, you just don't know. And that's been the problem with a lot of shops and a lot of places. When we don't own our own stuff, it's way harder and more precarious. So they gave us a year. We got our money together. We bought it from them, and we kept it going. Like, golly, I don't know, another 12 years or whatever. I think my total tenure as a store owner was like 18 years between the two shops. And it was awesome. But I'll tell you that what killed that one was something that was quite simple. Darlene Aragon, who was the general manager, beautiful, wonderful, intelligent, wise, grandmotherly lady. And she says, I've crossed the line. I want to retire now. I could not find somebody to retire when she was retiring to replace her. And to be truthful, I had to make a choice again, because it's kind of like, well, I can suck it up and do it all.
Yeah.
But then I said to myself, and how many classes would I not teach? How many books would I not write? Because as it is, juggling the business and doing other stuff is very difficult. So it was like, no, I guess. But the universe provided. As soon as we decided that we were going to make it go away, like a young couple approached us and said, hey, we've been wanting to do a store forever, but we knew we couldn't open one because we didn't think there were enough people here for a second store. And I said, well, how would you like our stuff for cheap?
Well.
So, and the thing is, they started the shop, which ran for a couple of years. It's now transitioned into an oddity shop.
Okay.
More than a bookstore. But since then, there are now like 5 or 6 things that I officially would consider witchy shops in Delaware. So there's plenty of stuff going on, and I'm really happy about it. I will say that there have been plenty of times when I have found that the shops are not great, but they are the rarity, because you don't last long if you don't love your people.
100%. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. If you don't have that love for the practice and the community and the customers, you will get burned out and you will not enjoy it
at all.
Yeah. I think that as much as I loved being in the store regularly, I feel like my true place, honestly, is at the lounge, because I feel like I can do the most good there. I feel like I don't know, but my place has evolved. But what I used to do in the shop is what Allie does now, right? And Allie takes care of the shop, and she. And Rivka, Rivka was our manager before Allie. But even just giving that personal touch to every person who walks in, that's what Allie and the rest of my staff, they're all fucking amazing. And they all have this love for it that brings people back over and over, because they feel heard, they feel safe. And they are really good with information. I have so many different staff members they all have specialties, right? So it's like, you want to talk about crystals, you talk to Viv. You want to talk about tarot, or you want to talk about this. Like we have a whole staff of it's well-rounded, because not everybody does everything. But I really truly feel that my space is next door. My place is there, running events and running rituals and running classes and booking shows. Man, I'll book all the shows.
That's where the life is. That's where the life flows through the community.
Yeah. And people can come and when you come to a shop, it feels weird sometimes for some people to just hang out. Whereas at the bar, at the lounge, you can literally just sit there and hang out. You don't have to interact, but you can. But you can just be in the space, and you don't feel weird about just hanging out in the space because it's a store. Okay, so what's going on with you? What's going on with Devo? What are you doing in the world, Evo?
I'm one of the primary organizers for the Between the Worlds conference, which happens every several years. This time it's also a joint event with Sacred Space, and that takes a lot of time and energy. I've been tasked to write chapters and articles for other people writing books, and that's been taking energy. And because I like to juggle things, I have 3 different books I'm working on at this moment, and whichever one whichever one gets done first is the one that I'll send off. Oh yeah, and I'm still traveling around like a maniac to different events and whatnot to do teaching in person, which I love best, actually.
And that's where you make the most impact. I'm going to say it again. Just being in your presence. For those of you who haven't done it, just be around Evo one time in your life to feel it. Take a class, meet him. We need to get you back out to Columbus.
Tell me when I'll come.
Let me get my stuff up and running. And
I know. I'm just waiting. And this weekend I've got to get ready because we're about 100 people will be descending on our property for the Hecate ritual that we do every year. So.
Oh, that's so fucking lovely.
So the thing that people don't immediately understand is I'm an elder in a tradition that has one of the elders, and there's 15 covens in the tradition, and that actually keeps me pretty busy all on its own.
I'm sure it does. I don't know how you do all the things that you do. It's incredibly impressive.
All things are powerful. All things are possible with caffeine. Script.
I don't think that caffeine would be enough to get me to do all the things that you do. I think I would need harder drugs. I'm not saying I would do them, just saying that I could survive the way that you do in the way that you do. Okay,
but I think we're time wise, and I think the lovely Jason is awaiting.
The lovely Jason is waiting. But again, after Jason's talk, I'm going to bring everybody back out, and we can all just talk. Yeah, we can all just hang out and talk. I can't wait. Okay, Evo, thank you so much for being here. I will talk to you hopefully in like 15 minutes or so.
Here. Great.
Okay, all right. He has waited long enough, and he's been here for pretty much the whole show, guys. Hey, it's Jason Miller.
Hey.
Hey, buddy.
It's like your Empire Records moment. Like, damn the man, save the Empire.
That's literally what my fundraiser is called. Only it's called Save the Lab. And I'm actually getting shirts. Damn the man, save the lab.
Excellent. Yes, this is it. Damn the man.
Yay! I'm so happy that somebody gets that. Usually I'm like, have you ever seen Empire Records? I have to go into the whole thing. But you know.
Yeah.
Hey,
I took my daughter to see Empire Records the musical last year. That's how much I love it.
How was it?
Not as good as the movie. It was fun. It was fun.
Wait, right. Laura's like, wait, there's a musical?
Yep. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna ask me about shops, right?
I am, and you and I know some of the same shops. But I want to hear about your original shops.
Do you remember that when we did a ritual and we got like the staff of Harry's Occult and the staff of Hand of Aries to show up at that park on the Delaware River at dawn? Like literally, like sunrise in Philadelphia. What was it, President's Park or something? And like everybody showed up. We all stayed up all night because we knew we would not be able to get up for it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Harry's Occult. Oh my God, I forgot.
Yep.
13th and South, man, had that monkey in the window.
Yeah.
That place was awesome and terrifying.
Yeah. It has. So my first occult store was actually a conjure shop. It was called The Globe, and it was in the back of an African fashion store in Lakewood, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And it was there. I went back. I still have the High John the Conqueror route that I bought there when I was 17.
That's awesome.
So it's the same one. I've had it all these years from Walter, and he used to, if you picked it up, he would tell you how to use it. So that's where I kind of got, I was reading all these books on witchcraft, but I got the root work angle from Walter, and bringing them together just kind of laid the groundwork for who I am. But I mean, then also at that time, trips up to New Hope.
Oh my God.
With Metro, and then there was a sort of a Gypsy Haven or something like that. There was more
there was a
like
place you were teaching at there, wasn't
there?
there?
Yeah, and Sagittarius, which was like a more new age shop, and you had all these, like, the whole town was like Witch Central.
It is.
Yeah. And it's like you said before about a witch district, right? Mm-hmm. Like, people think, oh, well, I don't want that competition there. It's like, it's not really competition.
It's the opposite.
The stores build a district, and suddenly, instead of this is my local shop, now you're pulling people from all over the region. And if it becomes even more of a shop, if it becomes a city like the French Quarter or Salem, then you've got a nationwide pull. Mm-hmm. So it's, they were a regional pull for quite a while. I mean, I just love that. And then in Philly, we had Hand of Aries. But I have to give a shout out to the Equinox in Long Branch. Wow. I met so many people through the Equinox. That's how I made contact with the OTO. It's how I made contact with John Reynolds, my first llama. So yeah, the Equinox in Long Branch.
Long Branch.
Yeah, fucking Long Branch, right down the street from the Inkwell.
Damn.
So my whole world revolved around Long Branch for a while.
Yeah, that's that part of Jersey. It's very Kevin Smith part of Jersey. Right?
It is very Kevin. It's where all Kevin Smith happens. Yeah. But it's funny. The record store thing. It got me thinking that cult stores are so much like record stores. Like, when you're young and you're starting out, you go in and you can ask, well, I heard this record, what else is cool, what else is like this? And when you and I were growing up, it was like, how do I get any information at all? Right. And now it's different, but that just means that the role of the store has changed. Now it's not so much how do I get any information, it's what do I do with all this information, all this bad information?
How do I sort through and actually figure out,
I can't cast a circle, or I can't do things when the moon is in Gatorade, and what am I doing? And
almost second spit take of the night.
So you become the stores, they become these community centers, but they also, for people that are just starting out, they're so vital for separating signal from noise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you're not just everything. You're not, Amazon's occult, which has everything. And that's great, but it's curated, right? Like, here's our shop, and we've curated these selections.
Yeah, these are the things that we think are worth your attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I take that seriously, like, because there's when it comes to rocks, right? There's 3 fucking million. And every time I think I got a handle on this rock thing, there's another like dozen that I'm like, what even is that? Right. But having the ones that we know are the ones that work for us and our practitioners. And so we don't have to carry 3 fucking million. We can literally just be like, okay, these are the ones that we will guide you towards, right? Same with books. We don't need 3 million. We need the ones that we suggest. So that's separating signal from what?
Signal from noise.
There we go. Yeah,
there's
I love that.
Of noise out there.
I love that. There is so much noise. One of the things that I love about taking classes from you specifically, or getting information from you specifically, is that you. And there's a lot of our practitioners that have this, but because I've known you for so long, I feel really comfortable talking to you about it. You have an understanding of the great map, the map we call a cult, right? And because there's so much, how does this interact with this, and how does that make any sense, and where does that all fit in? You seem to have that mapped out. And so when I'm like, hey, what is this, you're like, oh well, that comes from here and this, but it also, you make it make sense to me on a level that I can understand, which is
You
lovely.
know, I have been really, really lucky for a guy from the Kevin Smith part of Jersey. Not even like actually the outskirts, like Jackson is like the sticks compared to that, but that general region, I was really lucky to meet so many practitioners before I even graduated high school, and
that's crazy. That's
you know, from different walks of life. And it was at a time when, rather than, let me find the group online that is very specific to my interest, and the 12 other people in the world that want, Celtic Taoist Palo Mayumbe.
The fact that you can even string those things together is fucking important. And then you can, all right, go on.
I bet it's out there, right? I bet it's out there. So, rather than that, you would have these things based on the area where you are. So I remember at the equinox, Sue was a Gardnerian, but she would have these events, and there would be people from the local Lukumi community. There were people from the Temple of Set. There were people who also belonged to the Golden Dawn. There were people, John Reynolds, who has a background in he's a Tibetan Buddhist Lama, but he also has a background in the OTO. And everyone just got together and hung out. So I had to make these connections, because for me, it was like, it's all magic to me. It's not, we're magic, you suck. So, I had to kind of establish, like, well, those people do magic this way, and those people do magic this way. Obviously, they're both successful at it. So I try anyway.
I'm just saying, all I know is that when I have a big question that I need clarification on, and it's out of my scope, I go to you. I'm like, hey, well, I do. I'm like, wait, hold on, guys. I'm gonna go talk to a guy. I'll be right back. And we'll find out from somebody who I trust, because I trust you, and I know that you have this understanding that even though you don't necessarily practice or but you know where it fits, and you have a way of cutting through the bullshit, right? This is a signal from static. You have a way of cutting through the bullshit that I really enjoy. I love taking classes with you, because your Q&As are they're riddled with information and cursing. I love it so much. It speaks to my soul. And I can learn that.
I appreciate it. Every now and then, I had to actually not step back from doing the Q&As, but I have to kind of catch myself now, because for a while I was getting like the grumpy teacher reputation. Like he's really grumpy. And
when you ask the same fucking question over and over and over.
Well, right, but I
also appreciate that honesty from you. It makes me go, okay, maybe I should look and see if somebody asked this question already before I fucking ask this question, because I don't want to make the grumpy old man mad.
Well, I'm really happy to say that doesn't happen as much anymore. So, people are getting a lot better, and I produce some facts now. So
that helps.
Look, these are the commonly asked questions. Let me just give you the pat answers, and then we'll have the Q&A.
And your courses have been so long-standing. They've been going on for so long that you have got to have. I mean, you're used to. Okay, I'm ready for this question, this question, this question. No, you just go to this thing, and then if you have more questions, come to me. And the thing is, I truly believe that if we had more questions, you'd be like, "Oh no, great, that's a great follow-up. Let's go."
Sure.
100%, because you are always open to answering that new thing. So this is a total sidetrack. But but I think that it's something that you will appreciate. And okay, so during this time of stress in my life, I do certain things to calm myself. And one of those things I've been doing lately is watching YouTube videos on old New Jersey haunted houses.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So there's a bunch of YouTube videos on like the old Great Adventure haunted house and Brigantine Castle.
Right.
Right.
Long Branch had one. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? Dracula's Castle.
Yep.
Right. And my time of stress is actually coming from a thing about fire, right? The banded fire in my venue. This is why I'm getting evicted. All of this. Every motherfucking one of those houses ended in fire.
Yeah, they did.
Every one of them. Every one of them.
You know, they so when you get down to it, most of them were owned by the same company and the same people. And there's, you know, insurance that, you know, I'm not accusing anything, but you know.
What are you trying to say there?
Every haunted house on the East Coast burned down at around the same time. So no, not Great Adventure. That was a whole other thing.
That was the one. That was actually the first one. That was the first one that did, and then the rest of them sort of got a lot of scrutiny, right? So the fire codes cracked down, and then they actually had to update their stuff. The Dracula's Castle was my favorite one though, because those guys had every fire thing in place, and they were above all of the code because they had a fire at one of their establishments earlier, not a haunted house, but something else. And so they were way above it. And their thing happened in the off season when all of their sprinklers were turned off, and it was heartbreaking. Nobody was there, but also nobody was there.
Yeah.
So yeah, but you're one of the few people that I can talk to about old haunted houses in New Jersey, which is one of my favorite things. I know I'm a weirdo, but I love them. I love the big skull entrance and those fucking commercials that were always on the radio. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, she doesn't want to be on camera, but my Tiffany is actually in the room right now.
Hi, Tiffany.
Hi.
And she is, so for those that are listening, my wife is named Tiffany. We all know each other from when we lived in Philly. So it's, you know, and so she actually went to the haunted houses on the shore a lot more than I did, because she, you know, that's like where she grew up. Yeah, she grew up in Long Branch.
You know, there's still one in Virginia. On Virginia Beach, there is a haunted house that's still there, and it is awesome. I didn't go in because nobody in my family would go in with me. Those chicken shit bitches would not go in. I know, right? But there is so if you're and it's on like the second floor, and like the windows look fucking cool, and like the entrance is really like old school East Coast haunted house, really neat. But a block, like on the block before, there is a guy dressed as a bush, and people will walk by and he just creeps out, and it's fucking terrifying. I just sat there and watched so many little kids scream, women scream, like men scream, men just go running, because he just suddenly turns into a bush that's crawling at you.
That's fantastic.
It's fantastic, right?
And now that's fun. Like the last time I thought about going to a haunted house was like the early 2000s. And you would hear about these places in New York, and like you basically have to sign, you know, all this paperwork because you're, you know, like you're setting yourself up for assault, basically. And I'm like, I don't need that. Like, you know, and they were getting more and more extreme. The one of them is like, you know, we were just stripped naked and shoved into a room. I'm like, what? That's not Halloween. That's
crazy talk. No, that's nuts. Yeah, well, we have a lot here in Columbus. We have a lot of haunted houses, and a lot of times it's they get a little aggressive. Like the live actors get aggressive, which I don't remember ever happening in those things. I feel like we've digressed a lot. I'm so sorry, but thank you for indulging me.
Amy.
Huh?
You should go through with Amy and just, no one scream.
Amy Blackwood. Yeah. Amy, next time you should actually Halloween's coming. Amy, you want to go to some haunted houses with me?
Just say it. I would just love like the bush will come at her and
she'd be like, get out of here. Yeah, she would just be like she'd just be like the
don't
statue
even
in
think
front of
about
it,
it.
like, bring it, Bush. Okay, Jason, tell me some promos. What's going on in your life?
Oh goodness. I'm doing a class on Hecate for some bitch out in Columbus to raise some money. Oh right, you. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah. So I'm doing a class on Hecate coming up early October on the 7th now, not the 8th.
That's correct.
And I've got the next cycle of Sorcery of Hecate is the 22nd cycle, believe it or not, is starting up on Halloween. And also on Halloween, I am launching my new class, Your First 30 Days of Magic, which will also hopefully help people separate signal from noise.
Fucking love this. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is why I go to you for this. Like, please give us the way in that we can trust, which is a lovely, lovely fucking thing.
And other than that, from now till then, I'm going to be writing because I have had this idea for like 2-3 years.
Oh.
But unless it's scheduled to happen, I can't seem to write. Like I can't write a book until I get a check from the publisher and a date. Then I'm like, okay, I need to write the book or I'll get sued. So now I've just sort of like, I'm putting the class out. This is when it starts. And I'm like, now let me write these lessons.
So I used to feel bad about that kind of thing. Okay. But I read an interview with Jack White, who I love intensely. Jack White said he literally doesn't write a song unless he has a recording scheduled with someone the next day.
Wow.
Right. But what I'm saying is you are on level with that kind of genius.
Yeah, right. I wouldn't put myself at that.
Well, I'm gonna. But also, this comes from Jason Mankey. Sometimes we need panic to make us work.
For sure.
I work great with panic. I'm amazing with panic. It's when I have lots of time that I'm awful, right? Panic. Yep. Oh, I have to move the shop in a week. What? Let's go. But I feel like that is something that a lot of successful people relate to. And I'm not saying me, I'm saying Jack White relates to what you're doing. Because like, I need to have the check. I need to have the deadline, man. For me, it's the fucking deadline.
Well, you were talking about the star card earlier.
I love
I always think about the star card and I think about temperance. Right?
Oh.
So temperance, she's got the wings, she's clothed, she's got the 2 cups, she's balancing it back and forth. And then at some point, like she steps from the temperance into the star. The clothes, the wings, they are stripped away. Those cups, they get dumped. It's now, right? Like
now.
Alchemy has happened as much as we can. We got to go it now. The water's going to fall where it may, but I can't toss it back and forth anymore. So
it's time to move, right? It's time to go.
Time to move.
Literally.
So there's that hope aspect, but there's also that stripped naked and you've got to drop what you're holding.
You've got nothing left. You've got nothing left except what you bring from here. That's it. You don't get any accoutrements anymore. You don't get any of this stuff. You've only
No.
got what you've got.
That's it.
Because that's the tower. The tower takes everything away, right?
And it does.
Then you got to move forward. Wait, so what's the new book? Did you say that? Did I miss that?
All right. Well, Financial Sorcery is going to be re-released with new and expanded stuff to meet the modern needs. And I talk about, how things have changed since then and gone from bad to worse. But it's got a new gold cover. It's got some Helios stuff and new appendices. And, I'm not very good at like going through my own writings and updating them. So instead, what I do is I just kind of write a little thing at the end of the chapter. Like, I wrote that 12 years ago, and here's why I was an idiot 12 years ago. And, here's what I think now.
So I can tell you, and everybody listening here, the financial stuff that I took your class. I forget what it's called, but it was based on that. And that is where I learned so many fucking incredible things. One of which is that it's a witch district. It's not competition. I learned that from you taking that class. And when I opened WitchLab, I opened up 2 blocks down from a shop that was already in existence, and it was run by my friend, and who I would actually sell stuff to. And the first thing I did when I looked at the building is I went to visit her.
Right.
She was very excited. She was very excited that we were moving in. Spirit of Tifereth, for those of you who remember, right? I love them dearly. They have since moved to Virginia, but for the time that we were there together in those 2 blocks, we were doing great together. They would come and visit me often, and I would visit them, and they would just be like, "We're so happy you're here because you are bringing more people to our little tiny west side of fucking Franklinton."
Absolutely.
So, but I learned that from you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the lots of so many fucking gems that I've learned from you, and I can't tell you how precious you are to me and how much I love our friendship. And seriously, you're one of the easiest people for me to talk to in the whole world. And I can talk to anybody, but you're Jersey, baby. So for some reason, that shit makes it easier.
Jersey by way of Philly.
Yeah, right. Like we met in Philly, but we're both from Jersey, which is crazy.
This is true. True.
So we're way over time, but I'm gonna open it up to everybody else. I'm gonna bring everybody else back out.
All right.
So you should hang out, and everybody who's ready, anybody who's still around, we'll see. Evo's here, and Tony's here, and Laura's here, and Sarah was here. I'm not sure where she's at, but she'll probably come back. And Amy was here, and she'll probably come back too. Hey guys, welcome back.
Hello.
So what'd you think of the show?
She do this all the time.
It was fun to listen.
Next time I want to invite everybody else who we didn't get to go to the whole list, because there was a bunch more people. We've had so many guests on WitchLab Wednesday Live that it was hard to go through everybody, but we will eventually get to do everyone. I hope.
Get them on there.
Get them on there, right?
Yeah.
Whoa. All right, so I'm going to talk about my shops, the shops that I went to when I first started. And the first one, wait, somebody just popped on. Hold on. I heard a bop, 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 bop. There she is. Amy, sorry. I'm just going to put Amy on. Whenever she gets back, she'll just be surprised. Okay, so my first shops, the very first one, and this is embarrassing because I don't know the name of it, and I don't know the town that it was in. I have no fucking idea. My family used to do a thing every Sunday that was called Family Day. Hey, Jason's back. So every Sunday was Family Day, and we would go to a town that was within an hour away. And the one time we went to some town, and there was a shop. There was a witch shop, and we went in, and it was literally I was probably, I think I was 14 or 15. I think it was 15. And it was the first time I realized that witches were real, because my whole life I'd been going to the local public library and reading every book I possibly could on anything that was paranormal or like ghosty or witch powers of any kind, right? Like, the two twins that have ESP and they can, anything at all that I could find. And anything fiction, right? That was called a witch, anything at all that had the name witch on it, I was all over. And so when we finally went to this one store that God knows where, it was within an hour of Manahawkin, New Jersey. And we walked in and I was blown away. like, holy shit. There's actually like practices and things and stuff. And there's, oh my God, there's witches. Witches are real. It was the best day of my life. I bought the Farrar book, What Witches Do, that day. And then my life was forever changed. And my parents were like, what the fuck? And I'm like, we weren't religious people. They just were like, ugh. My boyfriend was horrified completely. But it was like, this is it. This is it. This is it. This is what I want to do forever. And so at that point, because books had like stuff in the back where you could look up more things and you could, and then Smithville, New Jersey, which is where, they have like the old blacksmithing thing and the thing. Well, they opened a fucking store. And I went there. I was working at a bookstore. I was working at Encore Books in Manahawkin. And this chick who I worked with, who was also slightly witchy, we went. And the woman who owned it, her name was Maria. So if anyone's been in my office at the shop, that big witchcraft poster that I have, I bought from her that day. And I went to visit her home after I met her there. I know that's weird, but I went to her home. She lived in Beach Haven West, which is the place just over the island. And she gave me like fucking 10 books that day. She just kept piling them on. She was like, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And I was like, okay. And I was like, well, when do you want these back? She goes, a year and a day. And then she disappeared off. The shop closed. She moved. I could not find her again. I still have all those books. They're in my personal library. There's like recordings from Alexandrian stuff. What's his name? Right. But yeah, all of this stuff that I have that I could never give back to her, but gave me this immense start that I could not have gotten I don't know. It was for there were no shops where I was, right? I lived in a beach town. That wasn't acceptable. And so I so lucked into this woman, and I am forever grateful to her. I don't know where she is. I've never been able to find her, but she started this madness, and she pushed me into like, no, it's this wonderful thing, and you should explore all of these things, and you should figure this out. And I'm forever grateful to her. And then going to Philly, Hand of Aries, right? Fucking Hand of Aries. So that's my witch store beginnings, and I'm so grateful, right? Because I was working in the bookstore. Encore Books is sort of like a mall bookstore, right? It was just like in a plaza, but our little tiny occult section, which was like the dream encyclopedia and like whatever I could get my hands on, was like, wow.
Ted Andrews.
What's that?
Ted Andrews. So many Ted Andrews books.
You know what? Along with all the occult bookstores, and Earth Spirit in Red Bank is still there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Speaking of, Red Bank is also Kevin Smith area.
But I keep thinking about how important a decently stocked Walden Books or B. Dalton at the mall was.
Yes.
You're not wrong there at all. Like that was the place you could go.
Yeah. Like my first copy of Modern Magic is from there. My first copy of Mastering Witchcraft, I think I took out of the library, and it's about 37.
That's why the library has no good occult books. We steal them. Not we, you. Jason steals them.
Jason Miller. Like
Oh my
needs to be
God,
pointed out.
To be clear,
Jason Miller
Jason
steals the occult books. Jason Mankey returns them.
Sucker.
And that is the difference between the two Jasons.
And also the East and the West Coast.
Yes.
Oh my God! Look, yeah, no, this. I thought this too. The unified head bobs from all of you about Walden books. Because it was all like, oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you didn't have an occult store, you'd hang out in that little section in Walden Books and meet people
who are also
at Walden Books.
I'll never forget. I was at a Walden Books, and a guy walked in with one of the hot plate trivets, the pentacles, but he was wearing it as a necklace.
It's like the Flava Flav. Yeah, nice.
Like,
yeah, the pagan.
I think we're good. Just get out of the section right now.
I love that so much.
I do not want.
I would try to read all the books in that New Age occult section at Walden Books, and I'm colorblind, and I even bought How to Heal with Color, which did not help me at all because I can't heal with color because I don't see most of them.
Oh no!
But I was so desperate, right?
Can someone take a screenshot of this? It's like the Witchy Brady Bunch. Please do that. Yeah, Sarah's got it. Thank you, baby. Send that to everybody. Thank you, Jesse. I needed that. Yeah.
So many books. I just some of them I'll never see again. They just came and went. But some of them were so much crap, but then there were just nuggets.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Paulson's complete book of witchcraft.
Right.
Any of them were the complete book of anything.
That's the one. If people have seen the meme, like feed, you can get women to fall in love with you by feeding them cheese. It's from there. But that was also the first book that had all the incantations from the Grimoire Verum in it. Because we didn't have Hadean and all that. So.
Oh man.
One of my first real magic book, I found it and I was like, oh, this is what I've been looking for, was a history summary of the grimoires by a historian called Ritual Magic by E.M. Butler. And it only had little bits from different grimoires, and I stitched them together to make my own. And that worked great. But that book was very key in my early witching.
I mean, in fairness, that's better than starting off with the DJ Conway book.
Oh, there were a lot of terrible books before that. To be clear, that wasn't my first book. That was just my first good book.
Okay.
But, think about how many
Not that I'm sure, I don't mean DJ Conway is terrible.
No,
it's going to be hard to get
the gateway drug.
Politically correct here.
Think about
I've never read a DJ Conway book, so I actually have no idea how they are.
Think about how many books are primary sources now, but they were written to discredit magic, right? Casalbon on Enochian and Scott and even Wyer's Pseudomonarcha Demonorum, which so these were all written by people who are like, yeah, this witchcraft stuff is garbage, and here's how you would do it if it were real, in exacting detail.
Really? Tell me more. Hey, you got to get your information from somewhere, right? And at the time, there was no this.
That's it.
Though there were occasionally little ads in the back of comic books, which is how I got my first Rider Waite deck in high school.
Whoa!
From a comic book? What comic book?
Oh, I think it was an X-Men.
That is awesome.
I love that.
No, but
also very appropriate.
Indeed.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons, but I think that my first Tro deck and the first two books that had any real information about magic, I actually got through classified ads in comic books.
Mm-hmm. I love all the old books that I have that still have those things in the back where you can mail order stuff, where you're like, here's all of our other publications, and you're like, this makes me so happy. It was, it was like getting it was like finding this treasure, right? That, oh my God, there's newspapers, there's magazines, there's updated periodicals that I can find about this stuff, which means also other people, which is a lovely way to connect.
I'm just envisioning like 9-year-old Evo with the X-Men choosing between, do I want a tarot deck or sea monkeys?
Oh, no, I already had the sea monkeys because at that age I had like 5 aquariums, so I had a ton of brine shrimp to feed my guppies.
I also like the X-ray specs. That was the third choice from those comics.
Meanwhile, I'm hacking out in the back of Walden Books. They had the witchy section, the one whole shelf of witchy section at the very back where the employee entrance was, where the stockroom was, so they could keep an eye on kids. Like, oh, I'll read this back here.
Yeah, because that's the thing with those books. People are afraid to buy them, or return them to the library.
Yep.
The biggest thing about and even today is that if you try to get cult books in the library, they are all stolen. It's just a thing. It's always been a thing. It's how some kids get their stuff.
Jason Miller's on a list.
It's sometimes Jason stealing them. But I'll tell you, having worked in libraries, Christians steal those books and throw them out. At least where I grew up. That's what the librarian said. They couldn't keep those books on the shelves because Christians would come in, like church would come in, steal the books, and then throw them out.
I believe it.
But I grew up in like crazy Bible town. Maybe it's not
awful.
like that everywhere.
I was lucky enough to find a Ouija board at it was like a Goodwill or something, right? And which I couldn't believe because I always go through the puzzles. I'm a puzzle person, so I always go through the puzzles. It was just stuck in the puzzles, the box. And I was like, it's a fucking Ouija board. Okay, so I take it up to the thing, and they're like, oh, we're supposed to throw these away. I can't believe. I'm like, just ring it up. With me. I have it. It's hanging in the shop. It's one of the ones that's in there. I think it was one of the glow in the dark ones. But when you find one, you're not going to leave that on the shelf, right? And also, they're supposed to throw them away. Fuck.
The first time I ever played Ouija, we had gone to dinner with like not even family friends, like a colleague of my father's who happened to have twin daughters like between my brother and I in age. And we didn't have a Ouija board at home because there was no way my dad was going to spend money on nonsense like a Ouija board, right? But they had one. I was very excited, and we read the instructions. And I don't know if you've ever read the instructions for a Ouija board, but they are not good. And I was like, no, this is dumb. I've seen a movie. I know how you summon a ghost. And I made everybody like turn out the lights and hold hands. Oh, and the lightning hit, and the radio came on. And I'm going to show my age. The Ice Ice Baby song, "Turn Off the Lights, It All Glow," came on. And these girls started. And I was like, I thought we were all here for this. Like, that's actually more or less what I was expecting. Because I don't know. In the TV commercials, when people played Ouija, it worked. I assumed it was going to work. They lost their mind, screamed, and we were never allowed to play with them again.
That's awesome.
And I think that guy quit and got a new job. It didn't work for my dad after that. I don't really know. But that's my first experience of a Ouija board.
That is great.
Awesome. Okay, so my sister and I played with a Ouija board when we were kids. I think we were probably about 12 and 13-ish, right? Mm-hmm. And to this day, I don't know if she was moving it or not. I don't know. My sister was a bit of a prankster. Who knows? But we contacted this kid, right? Which they always say kids are possibly something else. But anyway, my dad, who was the only person in the house who had any religious anything, he went around blessing every room in the house afterwards. I'm like, where the fuck did you get holy water? We were laughing so hard. My mom was dying. It was just like, but I mean, it moved. It moved a lot, and there was a lot. It was a lot of communication. But yeah, he was so freaked out. It was hilarious because the rest of us thought it was just, I don't know, a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we had one. So you guys know that I do seances, right? But my seances are, yes, I do. Now I sell holy water. You're right, Betty. I do. So if you need to bless the house after your kids do a Ouija board, you can get it at WitchLab. But we did one of the seances that we did. My seances are for entertainment. They're rigged. They're just for fun. I swear that I have ways. But we did one, and the Ouija board part of it was supposed to be a lull. It was written in as nothing would happen. It was supposed to be a dead spot where then all the stuff would happen. That is not what happened. I got in like 4 or 5 people from the audience, so it was like me and like 3 other people all touching the planchette, and then somebody who was there to take notes on what would happen. Motherfucker. Like, it was just like, like it was going crazy. And then later, one of the people who was attending the seance, Seema, I don't know if Seema's watching, but Seema was like, no, that's my guy. That was me. I'm so sorry. I told him to stay home, but he didn't. And that was that was an amazing experience, but really threw me off for the rest of the seance, because I was right expecting to go with the rest of my script, right? And it threw shit off like crazy. Who else has cool Ouija board stuff?
For it to go off script?
I mean, that's the best thing that can happen, right? At our first seance ever, which was at the Vanderelli room, everything went off without a hitch, right? Like the people who were there. Stop. The people who were there, like in like morph suits with like night goggles and stuff, they did all the things, and then everybody in the room saw something that wasn't part of my stuff. They saw a guy near the door in a hat that was not my guy. Shit happens, right? That's the funnest part, though, right? The funnest part is the stuff that you didn't plan on, but comes through anyway. And after that, AJ blamed me forever that I haunted the Vanderelli room.
Do you remember Summer that you sent me to her house because it was haunted? Tiffany?
She live in Philly?
Yeah. It was like over a tattoo shop on Arch Street.
I don't, but what happened?
Well, so Matt and I went, and we kind of, we cleansed the apartment. We did banishings in every room, the whole 9 yards. And everyone felt very successful. And then we get a call that night. Their lights are flicking on and off, and it's going like batshit crazy, right? And so we literally, like, we're going down there at like 3:00 in the morning now. And I look up and I see that their electrical panel is on the outside, just outside the banished area. So
no shit.
No shit. So we were sort of
Boundaries
like,
are very real.
we need to actually, spread this out a little. Like, actually send these guys back, not just out of the room,
not just outside.
Back from
where they still have access to the fucking electricity.
Yeah, they still have access to the electrical panel.
Fucking amazing.
Whoops.
It happens. Oh,
ladies, we're professionals.
I mean, we all have our own professional traits that we can bring to the table. I want to thank you all for coming. Does anybody have anything else they want to share or talk about? Or you guys are amazing, and I love you all so much.
I'm going to throw one thing at you.
What's that?
I'm going to throw one thing at you that I'm going to suggest, since we're approaching Halloween season. Something that Michael.
Okay, one sec. Let me let her out. But you keep talking. I can hear you.
Our puppy has not bothered us yet tonight. Jim must be doing an amazing job. So Michael and I often go to haunted house things and ghost tours because one of Michael's partners, Andy, is really into that kind of stuff. Well, a lot of times they're pretty drab and inactive. So Michael and I raise energy as the tour guides and actually feed the recordings in the walls. Because in most cases, there's no spirits there, but there's plenty of imprints.
Yeah.
Sure.
I love
So,
this so much.
we just liven them up a little bit. And there was one where they were like people started following us around because all the gear that they had handed out to people were blinking and going crazy. And so I encourage you now. Obviously, if it's a real spirit, be polite. You don't mess with people's existences. But if it's just a recording loop in the wall, come on.
Beef it up. Boost the
I
ticket.
love, yeah.
idea.
Beef it up.
Love it.
I love it. Thank you all so much. I love you all so much. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for being with us this whole time. I feel like we've had a huge audience this whole time. And these are just people who could tune in now because they'll be able to see it tomorrow and forever because all of your interviews are still on all of this too. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful evening.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
And I'll talk to you all very soon. I love you. Bye.